into the forest to not get fucked by a dragon, and we came across a pool of water with some tadpoles in it. Revert immediately decided that these were slot tadpoles with no evidence and began to murder them. This, of course, angered the froghemoth that was nearby, whose kids I had just brutally slaughtered in front of him. At which point, I retreated to a safe distance while the party engaged.
And then we fought a flail snail, and then
Right,
tried
and then
to
a
eat
flail
it.
snail showed up, and we killed that one too. And I think not Revert, but somebody else like took its shell after we killed it.
Yeah, 250-pound shell.
Yep.
Yeah, but we're gonna make
Probably
some
the barbarian.
sweet ass swag with it.
Might have been Wilfred.
So that's basically where the last session ended. Is we'd murdered a flail snail and had taken its shell.
Yep. And you guys are in the woods.
Trying to get back to some country.
Yeah. Trying to get back into. I mean, you're technically in Scarbia. You're just on the outskirts somewhere that sucks.
Mostly it's because there's dragons nearby that it sucks.
I distinctly remember Sir Jacob wanted us to head to the forest.
You guys are in the forest. You crossed the river, made it into the forest, fought the froghemoth, fought the flail snail. You're in kind of the marshy area on the edge of the forest, but it is forested here too.
And we're gonna get out of the forest, hole up in here. What was the plan of action again?
What plan? I don't think we've ever had a plan.
I will ask the Sir then.
All right. Sir Jacob will tell you, as far as he's concerned, we're marching north until we can get out of this God's forsaken forest, and go report to Glint what has happened.
Sounds good to me.
We never achieved our original objective, did we?
Oh gods, no. They
You
were
mean to-
beyond.
Yeah, you mean to retake the castle? The castle has apparently vanished into some place. No place. It's gone. There's a crater where there was the castle.
Right, that's what the crater was. Was that the castle of anybody important?
Not anymore.
Probably several nobles at least, but you know,
Yeah.
it's
There
gone.
were nobles there that were like of non-zero importance, but whatever.
They're not near and dear friends to Sir Wolfland, Sir Jacob.
I would have to go back and look through my notes, but I do believe there is a familial relation between uh the like Baron of that castle and I'm gonna say the Duke of Glint, but I'd have to go check. It might be it might have been a relative of Sir Wolfland. I'd have to go look. And I'm lazy and my folder's over there.
That's fair. So important person, yes. Near and dear friends, maybe, probably not.
It would be a relative of like enough importance that there was an obligation to go help, but the level of plot importance is maybe less clear. So yeah, you guys are in the forest, the edge of this marsh. You can probably smell the stinking corpse of that froghemoth, and you've deshelled this flail snail. Yeah, if if nobody's doing anything, I think Sir Jacob is gonna basically be getting his stuff together to start a northward march.
Sure, we can go north.
Yep.
So yeah, Sir Jacob is gonna start marching, and that's pretty much just gonna be how the afternoon goes. Um, yeah, all the way until it starts to get dark. Sir Jacob's gonna stop and kind of double back, walk into the middle of the group, and say, "Okay, well, somebody had better find us some shelter for the night."
Boom,
Are
tiny
you
hut.
picky about? Yeah, are you picky about where that shelter comes from?
What do you mean?
All gnomes have ways of procuring shelter that are suitable for humans.
Yeah, that's fine.
What, like breaking an entrance?
I thought you were gonna suggest, it was some barn or something. Okay, yeah, that's
Oh,
fine. Let's do that.
all right.
So you guys spend the night in a tiny hut? Is that what you're attempting to do?
Yeah, I'll take first watch.
Okay. Can we get a watch order posted?
I'll take second. I definitely do not have dark vision, but I'll
Third,
take it.
and I'll give
Uh,
myself dark vision for my third watch, which is the
My
thing.
my owl can assist with second watch.
Okay.
Wait, I'm sorry. Who can?
My owl
Who?
on second.
He said
Uh,
who.
uh,
Okay. All right. Well, Revert, you take first watch. Nothing of any great importance happens. Agatha, second watch. Hello. So, Agatha, during your watch, you notice that there are a couple of small flurries of snow.
Interesting.
Pete, your watch goes, and you do, when you're first awakened, notice a bit of this flurry, uh, but it doesn't last through your whole watch. And Miss Idle, by the time you're woken up for your watch, there is no sign of any snow. Alrighty. Yeah, but morning comes. Nobody dies.
Damn.
Always disappointing.
Okay.
So what's for breakfast?
Breakfast. Oh, what is for breakfast?
I mean,
Does
I have a
anybody
few
know how
rations
to-
here.
Does anybody know how to cook?
Torment can burn things.
I got a bunch of dried meat
I know how to cook.
and some
You're-
fruits.
You're in charge of breakfast since you know how to cook.
Torment mostly eats things raw.
All right. Do we have supplies for cooking?
Good question.
So Jacob is going to pull up a tree stump and sit down and wait expectantly for some kind of meal to show up.
We're in a forest. I'm sure we can find something.
So do we not have any food with us, or
I don't.
I have a few days of food. I don't think I have enough to make it more than like 1 or 2 days.
If worst comes to worst, we can always eat the gnome.
did we? Like,
All
how
of
were we
us?
surviving before? Did we not bring any rations?
Well, you were marching with an army, and they fed you.
Oh, right, that's how.
Mm-hmm. And someone didn't grab the wagon full of rations before the dragon burned it all.
I'll give Sir Jacob one of my rations.
Damn, if only we had
Perhaps
some
I
kind of-
should hunt for something. Have
if
I
we had some
seen
kind of
wildlife
druid
throughout
with us,
the day?
this wouldn't be a problem.
I mean, you've had a camp, and you guys haven't been particularly quiet, so you haven't seen any like large game, but there've been a few birds.
Rabbits?
Was that
None that
frog
you've
again?
seen, but it's realistic to think there might be some rabbits about.
How far did we
About
Belly,
about
quiet.
about half a day's walk back toward the marsh.
I'm hunting rabbits.
Okay, survival check.
Can I be with him? It's not good for someone to go alone.
Sure. Absolutely. Torment, what's your survival? Okay.
That right there.
All right. Yes. So, you go on through the woods and trounce it about. You scare off a couple of rabbits that disappear before anybody can get a shot off at them. But after having done so a few times, you flush a rabbit out who darts across in front of you guys, and there's enough time for Agatha to take a shot.
Is that a good idea?
I think so.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. Agatha's arrow pierces the rabbit. The rabbit is pinned to the trunk of a tree and begins to flail and sort of spin on the arrow.
I'll snap its
As
neck.
its back legs were like tapping against the ground, and it was doing backflips, like rotating around the arrow as you walked up to it until you grabbed it. And yeah, you got a rabbit.
One rabbit. We're gonna need more than one rabbit for the party.
Nah.
That's my rabbit.
That seems likely.
Wait, didn't we say we were making food out of that big snail that we killed? What happened?
Oh, I don't know if that escargot. That looks kind of.
There was talk of making some kind of escargot. I don't remember how far we got on that.
I don't
we
think we
left
did.
that.
Yeah.
Well,
You can
we'll
take that
have
plate
it.
and just escargot away.
I mean, if we still have it, I think we should eat it. Can't be that
It's
bad.
Okay.
over there, like
Yeah.
half
You
a
would-
day's
It's
journey.
half a day's walk back.
We didn't take it with us? Oh, I guess
No,
not.
we
I
Just the
don't
shell.
believe
We took
anyone
the shell.
mentioned it.
Oh, we only took the shell. That's right.
Yeah.
Ah, never mind.
You could try to scrape a little out of the shell. There
Yeah, I was
might
just
be
gonna
some
ask
left
if
in
there are
there.
any sloppy seconds in the shell.
I could open a portal to a random plane and see if there's food there.
Let's do not that.
Let's see if I could maybe find like a or something. AGR,
You trying to find a what?
a deer, elk,
Okay.
something larger, maybe a boar. I don't know.
Survival check. Okay. So you do you take torment with you?
I'm gonna like communicate to Torment that the rabbit's not gonna be enough. Maybe we should hunt for something larger. Whether or not he comes with me is up to him.
Okay, Torment, do you follow Agatha further into the woods or do you return to
Sure.
camp with the rabbit or what?
Sure, I'll follow her.
Okay. Agatha, you walk for 20 minutes or so, creeping along, and you catch the trail of some large creature with hooves. It looks like a large, maybe a large stag. It might even be an elk. You know, it's big. It's real big. And you follow that a little further. And why don't you give me another survival check to see if you can keep the trail? It crosses over a little stream here. You know. And so you don't see the tracks on the other side of the stream, but you look to the left and you look to the right. And down there in the distance, you can see this this like big old elk just chilling by the water's edge.
I'm not sure how much health an elk has. So I'm probably gonna try to super oof it. So I'll
Okay.
go ahead and has it noticed me yet, by the way?
It seems to be drinking.
I will attempt to hide before oofing it.
Okay. Yeah, you seem pretty well hidden. Torment, you're also going to need a stealth roll.
Oh shit. I want to see what my stealth is. Okay, it's +1. That's not bad. Oof.
Okay. The elk picks its head up from the water and looks directly at you. Okay. Go ahead.
It didn't notice me though, right?
It noticed the noise next to you, so
I
you
don't have
exactly
advantage,
no.
do I?
You do not.
You tried, didn't you? You better go first, because what I'm about to do is going to be dumb.
Are you going to tackle the elk?
I am definitely going to tackle the elk.
Okay, well,
I am going to shoulder charge this little monster.
I'm gonna go ahead and fire.
Okay.
I mean, tackling the elk isn't the worst idea I've heard.
But before I do that, I'll set one of the arrows on fire.
All right. That's a hit.
Ooh.
See the damage.
Well, that's not great. 10 damage, 3 of which is fire.
Okay, so this elk picks its head up, and right when its head gets all the way up, the shot goes off, and you can see this flaming arrow streak through, over the river, and
Through the woods.
and it hits him. It's just a little low to hit him right in the head. It hits him in the neck, and it looks like a pretty good shot, but it doesn't down him, and he begins to flee.
Charge.
I shoot again with the multi-attack.
I am charging.
Okay,
have
you charge towards
80
as
feet.
he's firing again.
Bambi, no.
That is a hit.
It's 9 more damage, Pearson.
Okay, that shot goes in its belly. It's still moving. All right, Torment, you chase the thing down. You lose sight of it almost immediately. It is very fast.
Can I be running after I did that?
Yes, you can be running.
So I couldn't get to it? Oh, wow.
No, it was far away, and it bolted as soon as that shot hit it. I'm sure its movement speed is way higher than
Oh, well, then I'm going to... Oh, then I'm going to
Do I
stop.
have sightline if it's still?
You don't see the creature.
I will attempt to follow the blood trail.
Okay.
And the,
Survival.
brush and such.
You have advantage because it is bleeding profusely.
I'll follow with him.
Yes, you can follow the blood trail. You track this trail for a solid half an hour before you find your newest friend who has bled out by a rock and an old fallen log.
Lovely. Torment, could you be dear and help me with that and carry it?
This elk weighs about 730 pounds.
I have full confidence that the Goliath can handle it. Whether or not he actually can, I don't know.
Well, I can lift... I can carry 840 pounds. I can drag 1,600, so...
Okay, so you fireman carry this elk. You just roll over on it and pick it up, and you sling it over your shoulders. This huge fucking animal.
All right, we head back to camp.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, Agatha thought that Torment was able to do that, but seeing it actually happen, it's like, holy fuck. Yeah, we head back to camp.
All right.
We deliver the items.
Okay. Sir Jacob is thrilled.
Hey, look what I got. I stomp into camp. Look what I got, food. Where's a wench to cook it?
Well, that still needs to be chopped up and cleaned first.
I tear one of the legs off. Why?
Make a strength check. Athletics is fine.
Athletics is fine? Okay.
Is anybody good at survival?
Oh, shit.
So the Goliath plants his boot on the belly of this elk
Oh, shit.
and pulls the leg to pull the leg off, and you hear this cracking noise as the bones in the elk leg snap. But before it detaches, his boot actually goes into the gut of the elk instead, and he falls over.
Well,
Gross.
Idol's just going to cringe, look the other way, and start walking in a direction that is not towards the elk.
Oh, I have rabbit. Can I make rabbit stew? I
Come on,
know
rabbit.
I know how to make rabbit stew, but nothing about elk or shit.
I'm gonna pull out a knife, start cutting pieces off of it. Fuck it. If they're not gonna eat it, the elk. I'm gonna cut it up and I gotta skin it first. Fuck.
Yeah, actually, if you want to skin it, then I'll try to cut it up and prepare it.
Yeah, we're gonna try to skin it first.
Unless somebody
Sir
else is
Jacob
good at
is
cooking.
just gonna stand up and say, "Please, please don't ruin this meal." And he's gonna walk over and he's gonna ask to borrow a knife. Does anyone have a knife?
I'll give him a.
I have a knife.
I have
Here.
a couple hands full of
He's
knives.
gonna
I
take,
open up my trench coat. There are 6 daggers inside of it.
He's gonna take the closest knife, and he is gonna begin to actually carve up the kill. Okay. So yeah, you guys have food. This takes a while for you guys to make it back and forth, so it's almost lunchtime by the time you eat. But hey, you eat.
And we eat good. Good considering, what's going on.
There is a lot of you get a lot of calories in this. It's a good meal.
Is there any left over?
Oh, there's probably
Is
a
there
whole
any
left over.
left over of the 730-pound elk?
Well, there's a lot of people.
Nope, no leftovers. We ate everything.
All right.
Yes, there are definitely leftovers.
Well, I asked because somebody put their foot through it, so I wasn't sure how much of it we were going to get.
Well, the spoilage from that was not too significant. There was some, but it's manageable. You guys can get a couple more meals out of this elk for sure.
Awesome.
Would my character have any idea what it takes for, meat to be left uncooked before it starts spoiling?
You would know that you can typically salt meat to preserve it longer. If you have access to a large quantity of salt.
If I had access to a large quantity of salt, I wouldn't be here.
I have dried meats, and I don't think I can help.
I'd be at home sipping red wine in my throne room.
I could purify food and drink as a ritual.
Oh,
Yeah, you
lovely.
can do that. That's fine.
Well, in that case, we don't have to worry about spoiling. Huzzah!
How much of this 700 pounds is bone?
2 pounds.
I don't know.
At least 120, I guess. That's just a guess.
How much bone do you need? I don't
Well, it's
understand the
more. Tensor's floating disc can carry 500 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
So, if we're not going to break it up, someone's going to be carrying this the whole time.
You mean, and when you say someone, you mean me.
Yes.
Yes.
You were carrying it like a champ.
The options.
As
the
it
options
slowly
are-
begins to rot, you're going to be the one carrying it.
Nah, pass on that.
I can keep it from rotting.
So
Well, we
keep
can
it
get
from
rid of
rotting.
the legs, chop them off.
I can keep it from rotting
The
for
head,
10
horns.
days.
Oh, there
I
we
think-
go. Oh, you have gentle repose?
yeah, you
If
can
you've
take.
copied my spellbook, you should too.
I have
things
gentle
already been.
repose.
The thing's already been. So, just for the record, the head has been removed along with the horns. The skin has been removed. The legs have been removed. So the skin is, it's raw. It's not like a pelt, but it's removed. It's rolled up, and I mean, if somebody wants to carry the head and the horns, they're welcome to do so. It's right now.
And we'll
sitting in
probably
a
get about
pile-
100 pounds of meat out
it's
of that.
sitting there in a pile of assorted offal on the side of the camp. But you're welcome to pull the head out of there if you want it. And yeah, there's I don't know. After your meal, there's probably a solid 150 pounds of actual meat left. Like this is a large animal.
I got a portable hole we can just stick it in.
I mean, one of you does, but it might take a while to get back to it.
We
And
left
it
your
might
car.
not be there by the time.
Now, theoretically, it shouldn't be spoilt because inside the portable hole there's no atmosphere. So
Yeah, it's not a portable
degrade.
hull so much as it's just portals to random planes.
It's portable
Oh,
and
no,
it makes
no.
a hole.
See, no.
Yeah, it's a
no,
portable
no,
hole.
No. Anybody got a bag of holding? It works the same thing, same
No.
way.
There's a portable hole.
What I can do, though, is I can use fabricate to take the elk bone and make a litter for you to drag the elk meat behind you with, so you don't have to literally wear a elk backpack.
I'm gonna make the skin into like an outfit because I'm already a barbarian.
Could make the horse drag it.
We have a horse.
How long have we had a horse?
You have
This
Why
whole
the fuck
time,
didn't we eat the
find
horse?
Steed,
you have a
because it
paladin.
disappears.
We have a what?
You kill the horse, it disappears.
Oh, it's that. Okay.
If we
Wait,
eat it
hold
while
on,
it's
whose
still
horse is it,
alive,
though?
you'll just be hungry again an hour when it bleeds out.
HR, whose horse is it?
Is it a Mongolian
Mine.
mare or
Oh,
something?
you have a horse?
Find Steed spell.
Oh, okay. Why don't we just put it on the horse then?
So, a little after lunchtime, you guys are discussing this stuff. There's a kind of cold wind blowing in. It's getting to be about that time of year. Seasons are changing. You probably getting the first snow here. Awful cloudy. I think you all probably suspect it's likely to snow later.
Okay.
How much firewood do we have back at the keep?
A lot. It's surrounded by forest.
I mean, I want to not freeze to death during the winter, not set the forest on fire.
No, my point is we don't need large stores of it because we can just go out and knock a tree down to make some.
You mean other people can? I'm not going out, it's cold.
Yeah, sure. Other people.
Again, every time he says other people, he means me.
Actually, Revert can convert large quantities of wood into firewood very quickly through magic.
Actually, I meant Will.
So can I. I just
Actually, I
stack
meant
them up
Wilfred.
and set them on fire. They're all firewood now.
I actually meant Wilfred because he's a woodsman, but that would also work.
So I think we have the food things situated with the horse, and we're ready to go.
We ready to do some marching?
I suppose so.
All right, let's get on.
Why not?
I'd rather not be too close to this giant pile of elk innards by the time nightfall.
Yeah.
All right.
I can't imagine why.
So yeah, you guys start the march around. Really, you only get to march after all the hunting and the skinning and stuff for 3 or 4 hours um, before it starts to get dark again. Somebody needs to set up camp. We gonna do that same thing?
Yes.
Great.
Same watch order.
Nice.
Great.
Is anyone still injured?
Oh, let me second one before I actually go to bed.
Fair enough.
I think everybody's about full.
Wait, how does the Lord look? Like, does he need healing?
Honestly, he looks like he's mostly better. After he's had some rest. You guys have gone for a while. He's not looking great, but he's definitely looked worse.
He probably needs healing. I would heal him.
I give him 35 points in lay on hands.
He is he's looking pretty near pristine.
Hey, wonderful.
Yeah, you get the feeling that he's having trouble recovering. Like the healing he's received doesn't seem to be doing as much as you'd like, but he is getting better. And he's at this point he looks better. So yeah, you guys have another night. While you're still ritual casting the tiny hut, the snow starts. Um, so the and then it pretty much snows all evening, um, all the way through the night and into the early hours of the morning. During second and third watch, you guys hear the sounds of wolves in the distance. You hear howling. But it's to your south, and it seems pretty distant. You don't hear anything approach the camp. No horrible, horrible things happen to anybody. Um, but yeah, when the party
Can things
awakens,
exit the Lehman's tiny hut?
can things exit?
Yes.
Things that are not entirely magic can exit, so you can shoot an arrow out of it.
You can shoot a mundane arrow through it.
How much snow is on the roof, AGR, my watch?
So because the roof is a dome, it does not hold a whole lot of snow. The snow really falls over the sides. It is it's pretty deep. It's almost it's like maybe half a foot deep. Um, and then it piles up to like a whole foot around the edges of the dome because it's been pouring off the sides.
Hmm. I probably would have been scooping some of the stuff at the very top to the with a shield.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, it like I said, it doesn't stick to the top, so you don't have any trouble with that. That's fine.
Yeah.
Really, it's kind of it might as well be it's it like wicks it away pretty well to begin with. Like it's really there's no friction there. So
Gotcha. All right.
all right. Yeah, but the party wakes up and inside of the hut with everybody's temperatures, it's not uncomfortable. It looks pretty cold outside, and everything's blanketed in a lot of snow, and visibility's not very high. There's a little bit of a fog. It's not super thick. It's not like pea soup, but there is sort of a haze.
Well, that's I'm gonna put on the winter attire I've had. Get that waterproof cloak on. Yeah.
Okay. So Jacob
I-
does not look thrilled about any of that.
I have an idea, guys.
Idle is going to
What's
put
up?
on her 2 spare suits of clothes and hand her blanket to Sir Jacob.
Yeah, Sir Jacob's gonna wrap up real quick.
I can try to fabricate the snow.
Why?
Into
Do
what?
now?
Well,
What, a
we have a
snowman?
horse. So if we fabricate the snow into like a cow catcher or a snowplow blade on the front of the horse can then carve us a nice dry path, or at least easier to walk through path.
I suppose you have
Hmm.
mage hand or something.
That's an interesting idea. I'm not sure it'll work. I have no idea how the magic works, but that'd be awesome if it does.
We can just give it a try, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it
Yeah.
does, great.
So you attempt to fabricate yourself a snowplow?
Yeah, so it'd be shaped like that, the orange part of that at least, not the truck. Um, yeah, and I would basically make it out of ice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
never mind. Here's actually a better picture of what it would look like because it's from the side.
Lovely.
So it's just like a simple wedge that we can just sort of put on the front of the horse, and some like stirrups and strapping so it doesn't like dig it down, so it stays level, and he can just kind of clear us a nice path through the snow.
Well, you have a horse, and he has, he has a bridle and everything. How are you making anything to attach the plow itself to the horse bridle?
Don't we have rope?
You might. That
I have
sounds
50
likely.
feet of hempen rope.
Okay. That's good. If you tried to make that out of ice and it was touching the horse, he would have been mad at you. Okay. So yeah, you can rope that stuff up to him and make yourself a little plow. That's fine. I don't think you have any difficulty doing that. I mean, you can't do it easily because you have to like get up there, but somebody can do it.
I can do it. Since it's my
Seems reasonable. Yeah.
like
Okay, so you strap a snowplow to the front of the horse.
Yes.
and I explain everything to the horse because he can
Okay.
understand me.
Okay. So it's a little unwieldy. The horse has a hard time getting it to go the way he wants it to go at first, but after a few minutes, he can start to kind of move at a trot and like a quick, fast step walk. And yeah, he can start clearing some snow out of the way as you guys walk. Yeah, Sir Jacob will snack on some of the food left over from yesterday as you guys trek. By the way, he seems like he's fucking cold. He is not happy about
Who?
any of what's happening today, Sir Jacob. He's not complaining, but his teeth are chattering. He's clearly very cold.
I'm gonna start looking through my stuff for more blankets for him.
Alright.
Got a
And-
bedroll. I'm not sure if that'll help.
In its current form, not really. So yeah, you guys march a while. After about an hour, the snowplow begins to struggle a little bit. It looks like it's got kind of a buildup of snow freezing to it, and it's kind of losing its nice clean shape.
Okay. Well, I'll cast Fabricate again to re-sharpen it.
Okay. Yeah, so you proceed. Another hour and change passes. Sort of the same thing. It's getting to be nearly midday now. And you kind of, it's getting to be just barely warm enough here at midday that the ice is kind of sweating just a little bit. And that stuff is starting to stick to it real good.
All right.
It's I mean, you don't have to stop at this point, but it is
Yeah,
is
I'm
slowing
thinking
down.
about
The
it.
horse is struggling a little.
Well, I don't think we're going to want me to attempt other means.
What are your other means?
I have 60 flasks of oil.
Why would you stop with 60?
Utah man
Because it's
arrested
all I
for
could
using
carry at the
flamethrower
time.
to clear.
I will accept that
So,
answer.
being that it's about midday, it's not quite cold enough to snow, but it does begin to drizzle. Icy rain.
You got sleet now. It's even worse. How big is the tensor's floating disk?
3 feet diameter.
You know, it's not big.
No, it's not big.
Can we turn like a small tent into like a small umbrella?
Are you
Although
asking
3
about?
feet is pretty wide. Like, do you think you could angle it into the ground and use it as a snowplow? Or a slush plow?
The problem is it follows behind me at a fixed distance.
Oh, that's right. You can't
And
control
a
it.
fixed
Right?
I
height.
don't have direct control over it, so that would require me to be 20 feet out in front with as a gnome in the deep snow.
I can picture it now. You can see this pointy red hat, just the very tip of it, moving ahead in the.
Like a tiny shark.
All right.
Yeah.
Just be like on the horse.
Are we still near woods? Or is there a tree nearby?
You're in the forest.
We're in the forest still. Excellent. So there's a tree nearby.
Many of them, yes.
Okay. Well, I would then like to fabricate some basic cross-country skis. Enough for everyone.
Okay.
Even the horse.
Even
You're
the
gonna make
horse.
poles as well.
For 1 hour, I can turn somebody into a bird.
Under, do you want to make poles as well?
Yes, I if I can, if there's like enough wood available in a 10-foot cube, I'm gonna make enough for like some basic cross country skis for everyone. Some poles, like just literally rods of wood we can use to push ourselves along with.
Mm-hmm.
How much fat do we have from the elk?
Or for ski wax?
Yeah.
Was he dummy
A fair
thick?
bit, definitely plenty to.
Okay, so I can embed because I'm fabricating this stuff. Can I like have it slurped together so it's like embedded in the very fibers of the wood?
I don't see why not.
Great. So we have greasy skis, normal poles.
And these skis should have like clogs or something built into them so they stay on your feet and they're not just like.
Yes, I would also like have like bumps in the middle, like two like vertical walls for you to like set your boot into, and you can just tie it with some string or rope or something.
All right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Great.
So there's a big old loud thump as the gnome walks over, targets a tree, takes this giant cut right out of the thing. The whole tree topples over opposite him, and just you see the snow falling out of the branches as the whole thing just kind of collapses down, and you just hear the branches snapping against the other trees. And hey, look, skis.
So we don't need the horse, and we can go over the snow instead of trying to go through it.
No mean magic, man. Crazy.
Also, a lot less maintenance than trying to constantly clear the ice plow.
Yeah. I put on this an attempt to fuck around because I've never been taught how to use skis.
Okay. Call it an acrobatics check.
I mean, these are just cross-country skis. It's not. We're not doing
Yeah,
like
you're fine.
real crazy shit. I mean, you can teach a child to do this in about an hour.
Yeah, it's really not hard,
Do we all roll, including my horse?
including the horse.
Oh god.
Yeah, but he was fucking around. I don't know what Agatha did, but she does some weird nonsense.
Well, if there's plenty of wood left over for the horse instead of skis, can I just make a toboggan or something?
Just a snowboard. The horse is going to be the
Yeah, I do
wreck of
the-
us all.
I'm gonna do a pizza French fries, I think. Stumble around a bit. And then
Well, you don't-
weave by a couple trees.
You don't
You've
pizza
never
French
seen-
fry for cross country, but
You've never seen pizza or French fries either.
It's
Mm.
cross-country skis. You're literally
Pie and
just
strips
sliding
of
and
meat.
pushing yourself forward with the sticks, one leg like in front of the other, alternating with the sticks. It's literally not.
if you
hard.
want to go fast, it's
Like-
like closer to skating almost.
Yeah, but we don't need to go fast. We just need to have the a little bit more efficient over the snow.
Yeah. Oh, we could have made snowshoes.
Could also have made a bobsled.
Oh yeah.
This works for me. It's quite an exciting frag.
Can everybody please go ahead and make deck saves?
All right. Well, I fall on my ass apparently.
No, you're
Wait,
fine.
deck saves?
Deck saves.
Okay.
You don't
Nice
all
way
need to
to
make
bo-
it.
Oof.
We do have the rings of luck.
Okay.
That is not my deck save. Those are portents.
Wait, do we all have the ring of luck, or just some of you?
Two people have it.
Alright, I'm back.
Everybody except the person wearing it can use it.
Oh, what does it do?
You just use it like luck, and the people wearing it cannot crit.
Oh, okay. So it's like lucky, but you can't. Is it only on the lucky that you can't crit, or just in general?
No, the person wearing it cannot
Oh, the
crit
person
on anything.
wearing it. Oh, okay.
It's like
That's
if a rogue wears it, their sneak attacks won't do like 1,000,000 d6 if they nat 20.
Okay. So those of you that rolled below a 13.
I still have to roll.
Okay.
What are we rolling?
Dex save.
Oh, that wasn't even my roll anyway.
Hey, look at that. I'm terrible at this.
That's supposed to be a +6, but it doesn't matter.
It's a scene effect.
Yes, it's a
Is
scene
falling
effect.
on your face a scene effect?
This is not falling on your face.
Save to dodge the ground coming towards you.
Is it falling on your ass?
No.
Damn.
I was so fixated
Well,
on the pie and stick technique.
okay. Everyone who rolled below a 13 takes 8 bludgeoning damage as they are pelted by hail. Yeah, Torment, you don't so much dodge the hail as you just get pelted by it and don't care.
Yeah, half that is 4. I absorb 4 points of damage, so yeah. So it's
Yeah. You simply don't care, and it doesn't matter to you.
I think Agatha would be like, ow, ow, fuck, who's throwing snowballs? Ah!
Agatha,
Man
those
up,
aren't
girl.
snowballs.
It does not feel like snowballs. It feels
Yeah,
like
it feels like on rocks.
yes.
Wait, so is it hailing, or did somebody smack a tree?
No, you get
It's
hit by
hailing.
hail.
We just get hit by hail.
I try to get under a tree and like look
I'm
to
asking
the
from where.
spellcasters.
Oh, like from the side?
It's hail. There's hail.
Okay, but like
Hail.
from where though? Is it falling on us?
Everywhere.
Oh, the
Hail
sky. Okay.
comes from the sky.
So it is hailing.
Yes.
Oh,
That's,
Did we
okay.
stop
that's what I
early?
meant when do you remember when I said it's hail?
You said it was hail. I didn't know if it was hailing though. I thought
It
like
is.
somebody hit a tree.
No. I mean somebody did
Alright.
hit a tree, but it's unrelated.
We should
I mean
stop
it's
early.
slightly related because there's now less cover where you guys are all standing, but
Yeah, I moved to the new town.
Sir Jacob is just holding his the like blanket he's got over his head going ow, ow, ow.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my shield up and just press up against a tree and have the shield on top of me.
Yeah.
I'll probably also lower my stance too. Why not? Less of me to get hit.
I guess y'all want to stop now, huh?
Yeah. No sense in pressing on if we're gonna get pelted to death.
Humans. All right.
Torment, is something wrong? You seem less pissed off than usual today. I'm worried.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine.
So what are you
I'm
guys
just
doing to get
picturing
out of there?
Torment bare-chested and getting pelted with hail. No single bruise has formed yet.
You guys are literally watching hail hit him in the head and shatter, and he doesn't even like you see he just scratches his head like it itched.
Mad lad.
Okay,
Hey,
it's
I'm almost
still hailing.
bloodied.
Nobody's
Yeah,
done
I'm
anything
waiting
to
for
get out of the hail.
spellcasters to
Dex
do
save.
something. Did I have advantage from the shit that I did?
Yes. As a matter of fact, you don't have to make a dex save.
I'm curious. I cast mage armor every morning. Does that help at all against hail?
Um,
So it's basically just like a magical force field around me.
sure. If you get hit, you can reduce the damage you take by 1.
Okay.
Hey, lizard.
It is the Grand Wizard.
Okay. I don't see a lot of low rolls yet. That's one roll.
Revert is not very dexterous.
Oh no. We better not lose a gnome.
Alright, anybody that rolled less than a 13 takes 7 damage, except Revert, who takes 6.
I'll start casting Tiny Hut if nobody has any other ideas.
Yeah, I was hoping for that. I'm gonna run right where this. Do my best to cover her with the shield because if she gets pelted and loses concentration, that's bad.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm basically using my body to try to cover her while she's doing this stuff. Body and shield. Yep.
Okay, you can cover yourself or you can cover her. You covering her?
I'm covering her. I'd rather her not get fucked.
Okay. Actually, don't you have that gigantic Pavis shield?
I do. I'm not
You
sure
can
how
cover both.
much that covers. Ooh. Have my cake and eat it.
Okay.
I cast Bless on myself and the 2 other least dexterous.
I don't know who that is.
I think
Idle.
Idle would qualify with -1.
Okay. Well,
Anyone else want Bless?
so you're ritual casting or you regular casting Tiny Hut?
I will burn the spell and quick cast it.
Okay. So everyone piles in, the tiny hut goes off, and yeah, you're in a tiny hut. There's hail pelting on top and breaking apart.
Oh, thank the gods. Oh,
So we've got
Yeah.
8 hours. If nobody has anything they need me for, I would like to take a nap.
I guess I'll split up my 37 heals on whoever got hit.
Yeah, I got hit. I was another good hit away from getting bloodied.
In my professional opinion,
I
I
can just
have
imagine a fucking baseball-sized piece of hail dropping on the gnome's head, right on his hat, just fucking burying him in the snow.
He comes up out of the snow and his hat is like crumpled and the hail is resting in the middle.
And then another piece hits him.
can I take 5 Bearloin?
Yeah.
Berillion, excuse me. Yeah, Berillion.
Anyone
Bear
else
crush.
want some? I have 30 left.
I'll take 13 if you're just giving it away.
I'll take
Sure.
8. AGR, is the hail a save for nothing or a save for half?
Save for nothing.
Okay. Then I only need 8.
I have 9
There we go.
lay on hands left. I heal. I give myself 8, and then I just toss 1 to.
So
Alright.
Jacob wasn't having a great time with the hail.
He tossed that blanket over himself. It looks like he got bumped up a little bit, but nothing too serious. All right. So it continues to hail for about, I don't know, half an hour, somewhere in there, and sort of slows down, and then it stops. By this point, it's mid-afternoon, 2 or 3 o'clock.
Let's go before the hail starts again.
Radio.
Okay. The sled is wrecked. It's coated in it's been like cracked open by several of these big old chunks of hail, and the horse is none too pleased.
Hey, look, it lived. Shit.
He wears armor and he rolled really well on his dex save.
All right. So yeah, what are you doing?
We proceed to go north. We continue to do that, right?
All right.
I mean, I can use fabricate to make a new sled to fix it.
Is that what you do?
Yeah.
All the fabricates.
Okay. Fabricate a new sled, and you guys begin skiing north. Sir Jacob is real confused about this thing you've built.
Gnome engineering.
Don't worry too much about it. Gnomes are weird. They do stuff like that.
Wait till I get my hands on some paraffin.
What's a paraffin?
Type of wax.
I think it's what a fish has.
Because I've got a bunch of oil. If I convert it to a gas, pressurize it, and run it through a burning ring of paraffin, I've got myself a gnomish cruise missile.
Agatha's absolutely confused by what you just... She doesn't doubt that it does something amazing.
Idle's only slightly less confused.
So it gets a couple more hours pass by, and it starts to get dark. Sir Jacob is indicating that it's probably time to go ahead and make camp again. There is, however, a faint sound. Agatha, I think don't you have the highest perception? I might be thinking of the wrong night. Who's got the highest perception?
I have 14. Pete might be the closest thing.
Yeah, I
think
only have
Alan
12.
does.
It's him.
Oof.
Okay, 14's enough. There's a faint sound of music a little to the northwest, maybe more west than anything.
Does it sound foreign to me? Or does it sound familiar?
Well, you've probably not heard this instrument very many times. It's some kind of string instrument. There might be a few in or around town, but you're not overly familiar with it. It's not entirely alien, but I don't think you know how to play it.
Yeah.
It's just some kind of like viol or something.
Psst, psst. Hey guys. Hey, do you hear that?
You see the size of that chicken?
The music.
Chicken.
It's like a few, notes here and there, I think. Is that music? Over there.
So it's hard to hear over the wind, but there are some faint. You hear the occasional faint note over the wind.
I don't think we're in any business to try to see who it is at this time. Maybe in the morning, if it's still there, we should investigate.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Camp sounds great now.
Okay.
Can we assume same watch order, just for simplicity's sake?
Sure.
Seems reasonable.
I will second one before we go to bed.
All right, so yeah, tonight the snow doesn't start until near the end of second watch, and it snows all the way through into morning, and it is still snowing when you guys wake up. The snow, which was half a foot deep yesterday, is now over a foot deep, and that puts it about a foot and a half up on the sides of the dome.
I think we're
Is
going
the music still there,
to-
AGR?
No,
We're going
the
to have
music
to-
only continues on for about an hour or so after the night starts.
Where there's music, there's usually people. We should head that direction.
I think we're going to have to double time it because at this rate we're going to be buried soon.
We're on skis. We're on top of the snow. We'll be fine.
If anything, we're probably going to catch up to them pretty fast, assuming they don't have some contraptions like these either.
I pull out a box with an Acme label on it. It's called Rocket Powered Ski. No.
That's the reason why he's been hoarding the oil.
Rever has just been Wile E. Coyote this whole time.
So you head west towards the sound of the noise.
Oh Lord.
Northwest.
Yes.
Okay.
Chasing down another noise. I want to say it's a bad idea.
Which direction is Glint from here?
Be right back.
It's hard to say exactly, but probably north-northeast.
So it's not too far out of the way.
Oh my god.
Okay. So yeah, you head west. So you walk for about 15 or 20 minutes, and you come upon this sort of outcropping. There's a rise where this large kind of rocky cliff face. There's like a ridge, and it only extends 10 or 15 feet above the surface of the snow, but clearly it would in in different weather seem a little taller. Yeah, there's like a ridge, and on top of the ridge there is what looks like a little ramshackle hut. And yeah, this this hut is kind of in this clearing. There's this ridge in the middle, and around it there are these large boulders, sort of encircling the place that stick out of the snow. Like some of them are, up to 5 feet tall. Some of them are, between those are only 2 or 3 feet tall, and they just barely stick out of the snow, or they stick about halfway up out of the snow.
Does this look like something Loki's people, like what do they call furbolgs, would build?
It's possible. Their homes would look similar to this. They're pretty solitary folks.
Yeah. Mings had the appreciation of music. I don't think he's a savage, or she. Maybe they're home.
Well, you don't see a clear way up to the house from where you're at. but it's only 10 or 15 feet, so it's possible somebody could give you a boost up there.
Reverend and I can do it.
We can do what now?
We can give Agatha a boost over the wall or whatever.
I mean, someone could just toss the gnome, I guess.
Reverend will be there for moral support. I don't think Reverend could do much to help.
My horse can get up to the ledge and then you just climb on the horse, then
I
climb
mean,
up.
who wants to go up?
I want to go up.
Okay, I poke you in the chest. Now you can fly.
There you go.
How? Okay.
Gnomes.
I'm going to do my best Spoderman impression and climb up, even though I don't need to.
Okay. You do a weird floaty climb. It looks really freaky, like you're on wires. Okay. Yeah, you make it to the top.
Is it afternoon?
No, it's still fairly early in the day. It's probably, by the time you get out here, maybe 9 or 10 o'clock at the latest.
Oh, yeah. It's not an indecent time to.
No, it's snowing still. The visibility's not great. It's a little bit hazy. But yeah, you make it up to the top. There's a little kind of thatch hut, and there's a couple of kind of hunched over figures and some really big, heavy coats, and they're kind of feebly shoveling snow and tossing it off the backside of the ridge, trying to get it out from around the house.
Do they notice me? I'll wave to them if they do.
They don't seem to pay you any mind. They aren't looking at you.
Hmm. Guys, do we got time for a moment? I'll announce the party.
Time for what now?
I don't know. And just talk, chat for a bit.
While you're having this discussion,
Just like a woman.
A third hunched over figure emerges from the house with a couple of what look like steaming hot cups, like big, kind of big mugs, and takes them over to the other figures, who stop, drop their shovels, and start sipping on some of whatever that is.
Does it look good?
It looks warm.
So the party has more or less been we don't really need to stop, right?
Well, do we know where we are in the world?
You know what stretch of woods you're in.
Okay.
You know that you're technically within the borders of Scarbia now. Exactly where you are is hard to say. None of you have ever been here. Sir Jacob's not incredibly apt as a navigator.
Do we have any
bring any
idea
map.
of how long the journey home is from here?
Well, you know probably how long it would take to get out of the woods is, I mean, if there were a road straight through the woods, it would be more than a week, maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks. So without any of that, it's going to be slower, and especially with the weather.
Okay, so what I'm thinking, because we got a bunch of people with no winter gear, we trade some of the elk meat to the savages
That's exactly what I
for
was
some winter clothes.
That's what I'm hoping. And also some gossip to see if they know about like the dragon shit going on and maybe what they've seen over here.
I wouldn't, but you do you. I would not mention dragons to who are probably fairly superstitious and skittish folk.
We do it at the end.
I'll go over and ask about the current events.
I'll give you a hand up.
Okay. You help Idle up onto the ridge. The three hunched figures all kind of stand there silently on the back end of the property, kind of drinking their little warm beverages and warming their hands.
Um, have they noticed us as a party yet?
Probably at least the two.
They haven't paid you any mind. It's hard to tell if they've seen you. They're not looking directly away from you, but you know they're clearly occupied with something else.
Hail, strangers. Some of my friends are super cold. We got some game. I don't suppose you folks are willing to trade.
Yeah. So the figures sort of stop what they're doing, and they each take a kind of sideways look at you, and one of them kind of raises a feeble old hand, and this old woman says, "Oh, hail! It's nice to see you. Although I wouldn't be out and about in this weather." And she kind of curls up in her cloak, and says, "You say you have friends? We have hot soup and uh, if you need some place to warm yourselves for a little while before you get going, you're welcome to come on up."
Does their hut look like it can house all of us, Adriel? I don't think it can it?
It doesn't look like you can house everybody now.
I think she means like you can just go around the fire. So there's a fire outside, I thought you said, right?
There's no fire outside.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said there was. Never mind.
Now that you mention it, you do see a little tiny bit of smoke emanating from the thatch roof.
I am. Go
There's
ahead.
maybe a few too many of us for such accommodations, but
Oh, nonsense.
we wouldn't be out in this weather if we had a
I'll tell you
choice.
what. I'll bring out some hot soup. How many are we serving?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I can eat.
Well, I would say the Goliath and the gnome cancel each other out, but I think the Goliath can eat for like 6 people.
7 and a horse, I'd say.
6, a Goliath, and a horse.
Yeah, she gives a little laugh and says, "Oh, well, I think we have some hay." She's going to turn to one of the other figures and point out towards a little tiny shed that you couldn't really see behind the house, and it's just a tiny little hut. And she'll kind of wave her hand a few times, like, "Okay, I'm going," and then she's going to walk over that way. And then the woman you were talking to will say, "Well, my name is Agnes. I'll be just a moment." And she's gonna walk into the house, and she'll come back after a few seconds with a tray, a little wooden tray, and she's got assorted containers. She clearly did not have enough cups for everyone, but she has a couple of cups and a couple of bowls. And she brings them out and says, I don't have enough containers for everyone, so you'll have to take turns. There is plenty of soup, though.
Oh, thank you so much. You're so kind. Are these normal humans, AGO?
They look like little old women.
How many of them are there?
3.
And you said they were all hunched over, and there's exactly 3 of them.
Yeah, there's 3 little old women.
Yep, that's
I
Rever
know
right
which
now
is
behind a
bigger.
major image.
I just want to point out that a lot of us probably don't know what. Well, we might have heard of witches, but I don't think Gumbo
You've-
knows what witches.
You've probably all heard of witches, and also there are. I mean, it's pretty common that outside of some of these towns, you guys have had, like, you already met an Agnes outside of um, like right by Sarkney.
Yeah,
Like,
but that one was
right
like
outside of Skeen.
that one was crappy. These are very nice folk. Surely they would do no harm to us.
Yeah, I mean, Gumbo's no stranger to depending on the kindness of strangers.
Revert is freaking the fuck out right now.
Typical gnome. Being weird.
That's fine. You guys can go have fun with them. Revert's gonna stay right here behind his illusory blind, ready to deal with things when they go sideways.
Appreciate you.
So after handing out the soup, she's gonna say, "Are you sure you guys wouldn't like to come in and warm yourselves by the fire?
I am sure. I actually just
We have some shoveling to do out here, and maybe you guys could, a couple of you could come in, and a couple of you could help us out with this, and then you could swap out because we have a lot of snow to shovel."
I'd be happy to help. At this point, I'll go ahead and announce to the party what's going on. Is there an obvious way up here, AGR, other than the cliff?
Now that you're at the top, you can tell that, like, on the back end of the hill, it sort of slopes down, and you could just walk around to the back, and it's totally totally fine. You might have to take a couple of kind of large steps, but otherwise it's totally fine.
Yeah, I'll communicate that as well.
Yeah, sure, I'll help with the shoveling.
I'll drink some of the soup and eat it and such, and I'll go ahead and get some shoveling. I don't eat to my fill, just eat up to get something warm in my stomach.
Yep, yep.
Really?
So yeah, it's a lovely warm meal, and nobody is poisoned to death. Just a moment. But yeah, so who's shoveling and who's going and having soup?
Well, I think we were doing soup first, and then some people were going to shovel.
So you guys walk in, and immediately, what's your marching order, actually? Who walks into the hut first?
I probably would have gone out to announce to the party and then go back in.
Okay.
I'll probably be behind him.
Okay. So as you guys walk into this hut, the inside of it is actually lovely. There, where you expected to see a like a kind of a campfire buried in the center of the room, there's actually a like a full kitchen with a stove, and it seems like the amount of space in here is pretty nice. It didn't seem this large from outside, but there's like a full kitchen. I mean, it's not quite as nice as what you've seen in, like, what you saw in the castle in Sarkney, but it's nice, and there's you know, like, well-made furniture and some rugs, and it's pretty toasty in here. There are there are some sort of strange hanging crafts. It looks like things that look a little like dream catchers and things hanging from the walls. And there's a big rocking chair where it looks like somebody was working on knitting up a big quilt. Yeah, but it looks like old people live here, but it's a lovely place.
Mhm.
Inside there are a couple of cats. There's a black cat and a black and white cat with like all black except his nose is white and his paws are also white. And they're just kind of hanging out by the fire in the kitchen.
So on the checklist of known witch superstitions, how many, if not all, of those criteria does this house fit?
I mean, this doesn't make a whole lot of physical sense, so there's clearly some meme magic going on, but like you've definitely never heard of witches doing this. This is not something that's been discussed.
Since I never used it, I'm just gonna use divine sense to see if like they're evil or what.
Divine sense. Can you read me what divine sense does?
The presence of strong evil registers on your senses like a noxious odor. The powerful good rings like heavenly music. As an action, you can open your awareness to detect such forces. Until the end of the next turn, you know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet.
Yes. There. Okay. Oh, one moment.
The part he's missing of that is he does know the type, and but not its necessarily its identity.
Yeah.
It also detects consecrated and desecrated ground.
Yeah.
I'm sure these are very lovely folk.
So the ground has not been consecrated or desecrated. These lovely women do ping as a little bit of a they have a little bit of an odor to them for sure. Yeah, but I don't know what else to tell you. I think that's about it.
So just slightly evil.
I mean, you're in the house, right? And they are outside the house, but you can smell them.
I quietly tell the party that like these guys smell a little evil.
So I would like everybody who's in the house to post to me so I know who's in the house.
Oh, Agatha would probably still be shoveling. Or where's that? Inside, outside?
Shoveling is outside.
Yeah, that's
with
it.
the ladies.
Idol doesn't want to get too far from Agatha, especially not from Revert.
Revert is on the edge of the ridge in a concealed position,
Yeah.
ready to like bring down hell on this hut.
Yeah,
should
Revert
anything
does not
squirrely
introduce
happen?
himself at all.
So
Okay,
Idol's going to be outside, but not super effectively shoveling snow.
So the ladies don't have enough shovels for everyone, so they take a break while you guys are shoveling, and they ask,
I'll shovel.
sort of between the lot of them, they're asking, so what brings all of you out here into this neck of the woods, right at the start of winter?
We
Oh
are.
god, this is a long story.
We're returning home from investigating something. Ended up not being anything important, but it could have been. And we were expecting to be either staying in the city down south for the winter or be home already. Unfortunately, winter came earlier than we were expecting, and we are going to be arriving home later than we were hoping. So,
Unfortunate, dear. Well, you'll catch your death of cold out there. Um, you're all welcome to pitch camp up here on the ridge if you're willing to shovel the snow, of course.
Oh
You
God,
won't
I
you
don't.
won't be home in a hurry, but you'll live.
Yeah, yesterday was horrible. It was hailing.
Oh yes, we could hear. It was
Yeah.
quite unpleasant. Yes.
I was actually hoping to ask, do you have any heavy blankets we could borrow for the trip? We have some spare meat from hunting earlier that we would be more than happy to trade.
Uh, well, we do have some blankets and coats. I they're dear to us in these times of cold. It's hard for us to get up
I'll be right
to
back.
go shopping, as it were. But I suppose we might be able to part with one or two. I'm afraid we're not in much need of meat, though our stores are fairly full.
Hey, Jared, the shoes that I looted from earlier, does it look like it would fit any of the ladies?
I don't remember who did you loot the shoes from?
From a cobbler shop that was half
Oh
decimated.
yeah. Um, hmm. I don't know. They'd have to try them on, I suppose.
I'll bring up how about shoes? I got a few here. Leather turn shoes.
The ladies will take a look, and one of them will say, may I see that, dear?"
Yeah, absolutely.
She'll take the shoe in her scrawny clawed fingers and kind of carefully, and you see her whole hand shaking as she lifts up her foot and tries to like put it next to one of her feet, and it's clearly not a fit. So she holds it over to the one of the other ladies, and it's clearly not a fit, and so she holds it over to the last lady, and it looks pretty close. So she says, "Well, uh, what do you want for this? For these?"
Well, you said you're not in terrible need of game, but hoping to make you more willing to part with a coat or two.
I'm sorry, dear. These shoes are lovely, but they won't keep us warm. Do you have anything else?
I'm trying to think, and all I have are a few weapons, daggers, and such. I don't think you fine ladies would be interested in anything like that.
You don't happen to know, or have a tannery and know how to use it, do you?
Oh dear, no. We
I imagine you want to be away from the smoke.
we certainly don't need any of that. It's the reason we live far from the city.
I can't say I blame you for that. It does smell quite unpleasant most of the year. Hmm.
How about these AGR? How about these elf boots? Do they look like they'll keep warm? Probably not, right?
They look relatively.
Jesus,
they-
that's
they look
hardcore.
like-
You turned an elf into boots.
No, I got these from elves.
They
I
don't look
turned it
like
off into one
they
boot.
would be bad for the cold. They're pretty decent boots. They look like they'd hold up to the cold pretty well, but they don't look like winter boots.
Yeah, so they look like they're resistant to the cold, but they're not warm.
Yeah, they're okay. You wouldn't hate them. You'd be happier in those than some regular shoes for sure, but they're not really dedicated winter boots. They're not going to help you very much after you've been in the snow for a day.
Oh. I'll bring up the boots, and I do hesitate to bring this up, but I do have some ink and parchment. If you ladies write or read anything of that nature, I'd be willing to part with them.
I suppose we could use some ink, but I'm sorry that none of this is going to get you a cloak. We might be able to part with some foodstuffs if you all are.
Oh, we're quite
Going
set
to
on,
leave.
on meat and game.
I'm not sure what else we have. Well, you feel free to come inside and look around. We might have something we can trade.
Sure.
Yeah, so lady will walk into her house and she will produce a couple of very large, thick blankets, two of them, two very large, thick fur coats that look really sturdy. She has a couple of pairs of snowshoes, but she guesses you don't need those. And she has a like a lantern. Um, and she digs around a little bit. She has a stone, which is warm to the touch. She just says it's a hand warmer.
Huh.
We have some of these odds and ends, but I can't give any of them away, I'm afraid.
That's understandable. What would you want for these? We have some bits and baubles, but we also don't know.
Well, dear, I don't really know what to tell you. I'll tell you what. And she starts to clear off this large table towards the front of the room and says, "Why don't you lay out what you have, what you might be willing to trade, and we'll see if we can come to an arrangement." So all you got to do is basically turn out your pack, post whatever you have in your pack or whatever you're actually willing to remove from your pack and put on the table, and put it in chat.
Should I offer like healing draught or should we keep?
Probably keep those. We are on a day-to-day basis, significantly more dangerous situations than the average person.
All right, well, you guys post some stuff on that list. I will be right back.
if you were to ask Revert if he had anything to trade, he does have some rings of mending.
How powerful are witches? Should we consider killing them?
Oh God, no, we're not brutes.
Have you ever seen a house stand up and crush you beneath its house-like feet?
Why the fuck do you think Revert's kind of like, I'm not going near that? In fact, since Revert's had some time, he's kind of dug in a bit.
See, Idol's only going in because she has Dimension Door and 8 Wisdom.
You guys are so suspicious. These are fine folk.
I'm sure they are. But like I said, I have...
smell evil.
If you were to come outside and talk to Revert, he would give you 3 rings of mending to try to trade with.
If you're okay with that,
If you think
you okay with?
If you think you can successfully get stuff that will keep the party alive with it, yes, I'm comfortable giving away some, frankly, minor and somewhat useless magic items.
All right, then. Is that what you're typing, Sleuth? Well,
Sort of.
okay.
Because again, Revert's not going anywhere near that fucking house. He's like 100. He's however far that ridge is. I think it's like, what, 100 feet?
Yeah.
100,
Better enough.
150.
150 is fine.
So Idol doesn't really carry around a lot of stuff. All Idol really has been either offered already in the daggers and elven boots, or is a healer's kit, which Idol will offer. It'll have stuff to presumably.
Agatha, can you take a quick screen cap of your inventory and paste it to me directly?
Oh, okay. Actually, you have it. Yeah, I gave you the character sheet. Or do you want the screenshot?
I'd rather have the screenshot. It saves me a minute.
All right, give me a moment.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. I'll just get it open. Hold on. This is fine.
Does Sir Jacob have armor?
I can't hear you.
Does Sir Jacob have armor?
Not currently.
So, looking through my inventory, I found Brigandine, and I can offer it.
Great. He'll mutter some profanity that was not offered to him earlier, but he will thank you for it.
After several near-death experiences. Oh, by the way, I have some armor for you.
Sorry, I just saw it.
There we go. Hopefully that works for you.
Thank you.
Oh, I do believe I did work out an arrangement for a fancy handkerchief. I have not given that away yet. I should put that in my inventory.
That's all Idol has to trade. That would be not already in their house or offered already.
Why do we have a house?
Okay.
Are we gonna mortar fire them?
Oh, only if they shoot first.
AGR. Did I ever get an opportunity to get my equipment from my horse? Or no?
Sure.
Okay, very good. because that's the stuff that had the elf boots and such.
Yeah.
If that was unretrievable, then I wouldn't be able to bargain with that. I should probably screenshot that as well.
I have it open. It's fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's under the extra equipment. Probably nothing there is going to be of interest to them anyway, unless
No.
those clothes fit them.
Well, you don't seem like you all have much of value to trade. I'll tell you what. Where did you say you're going?
So one of the cities, preferably HR. What's our town city? Sarkany.
Your
I've been playing
hometown.
too much CKD.
Your the town Sir Wolfen's from is Sarkney. You guys, most of you, not you specifically, are from Skeen originally. Sir Jacob said you guys were going to head towards Glint.
Oh well, then I say that.
Okay. Oh, well, then you could handle a delivery for us. Just one moment. Let me go fetch it. She wanders over to a trunk on the back wall, opens it up and rifles through it. She tosses a couple of little knickknacks out of there, and she pulls this little simple beaded necklace out. And the necklace has a little figure that looks like a girl in a dress. It's a little silver figure on it. And she's going to hand it to you if you'll accept it. She holds it out to you and says, this this belongs to the daughter of the Duke of Glint, and we've been meaning to return it to her for some time. If you could deliver it for us, then you may go with these cloaks and that stone and the blankets. And if you'd really like, you can take the snowshoes as well.
Do I expect that an audience to even deliver this to the Duke's daughter, AGR? Do I expect that we would be able to deliver this to the Duke's daughter? Yeah.
I don't
That
know.
sounds
It's the Duke's
fancy.
daughter. You guys have all slept in a room together.
Yeah, but that was under extenuating circumstances when,
It is very likely, especially given what has happened recently, you guys have enough pull to get in and have some level of access to the Duke's daughter. Yeah.
Yeah, as long as it's reasonable, I'll go ahead and accept that offer and do that. I'll take the necklace and agree to the terms.
She'll say, very good. Now, the offer is still open if you'd like to pitch camp. You're welcome to camp outside until the weather turns better. You'll catch your death out there. It's dangerous.
I'm sure we'll manage. Thank you so much for the offer, though. Has Agatha ever seen a dream cat?
No, probably not.
So I'll probably bring that up as small talk. Like, what's that? It's really neat.
She's going to tell you that it exists to it's a net to catch all your bad dreams. It's as simple as that. It's a dream catcher.
Neat.
Has there been much going on in the area?
There's been a lot of snow.
Oh, it is winter. Or about to be.
The beasts tend to get restless this time of year. A lot of hungry critters. Food gets scarce. The winters around here are long.
Yeah. Oh gods, it just hit me, AJ. We have a pikeman. Shit. How is he faring?
Poorly.
Let me
No
get
worse
Sir
than the
Jacob
rest of you.
and let me get Sir Jacob and pikeman a winter coat. Is everyone else fine in winter coats? Were we able to secure those before we departed?
Yeah, you have 2 new winter cloaks, or winter coats, thick fur coats, and 2 big, thick blankets made of the same material that are even larger than the coats.
Assuming no one in the party needs them, I'll give them to the NPCs.
We all got one, right?
There were only 2 of each.
Never mind.
Oh wait, you don't have a heavy winter cloak in your inventory?
Give us.
We had the opportunity to shop for them.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Oof. I think I'm gonna hand both the things to Sir Jacob and let Sir Jacob handle distribution.
I mean, if we have extra, I'll take one.
Sir Jacob turns to the gnome and says,
I'm not in the house.
Yeah, he's far
neither
away.
was Sir Jacob.
Oh, okay. Oh, he's out in the blind with me, preparing to assault the
Why
place if
fuck
anything goes
Why the
sideways.
fuck would he go in there?
I mean, you posted a picture of 2 people.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the guy with the binoculars.
But if you do take it out to Sir Jacob, he will take the items. And he's gonna... are you doing that?
Yeah, I do that.
Okay, he's gonna turn to the gnome and hand the gnome the blankets and say, you can magic those into something. And then he's gonna put on one of the coats, and then he's gonna put on the other coat over it, and he's gonna say, you can have this other one later. Right now it's mine.
No skin off my back.
Okay. I guess I'll fabricate the blankets into like proper cloaks then.
Alright. With that
Everyone
material
wins.
you can make 3 coats with that material.
Idle will remember this.
Well, assuming we helped a bit with the shoveling and conducted trade. Is there anything else that we wanted to do? To talk about?
They did give you that stone, which acts as a hand warmer. That's literally
They
all it does.
gave it?
Yeah, it was part of the trade.
Oh. Oh. I has a stone. Neat. That'll be good for archery.
Yeah.
I think Agatha's just interested in collecting a knickknack. Could I have one of those dream catchers for an ounce of ink?
Make a persuasion check.
I will portent it to an 18 on the roll.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Thank you.
Definitely an
That's
important
23.
use of my abilities.
The
21.
woman,
21.
the woman will say, "You may have your choice of dream catchers."
Which one's got the fanciest colors?
So there's a really big one on the right-hand wall by the kitchen. They have some bedrolls out over there, so it looks like that's kind of where they kind of sleep in that corner of the room. But they have other ones hanging around throughout the house that are smaller. All of them are nice. They have various animals stitched into several of them. There's one of them has like a stag. One of them has like a pack of wolves. Um, one of them has
I'll
a
take one if
big
they
old
have a
spider.
fox.
Sure, they have a fox. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that one. All right. Thank you so much, ladies, for your time and for the trade.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I never introduced myself. I'm so sorry. I'm Agatha. It was a pleasure.
Oh, you're an Agatha too. We have an Agatha. And she points over to one of the other women, who
So
gives
there's
you
an
a little
Agnes
wave.
and an Agatha.
Mm-hmm.
What's the third one called, I wonder?
Idle.
Perfect.
Well,
She
I'm
doesn't
happy.
say. But yeah.
Agnes, Agatha, and Agamemnon.
I'm ready to go, fellas. If there's nothing else we need.
The lady will tell you, safe travels. You should prepare for a stormy night tonight.
Thank you. We'll go back to Sir Jacob and tell him that I think we're ready to go.
He's just like, great. That place is creepy.
It's quite lovely inside. Have you seen the inside? Like
I-
the inside looked better than some like houses
Agatha.
in the city.
They've bewitched her.
Agatha.
Hmm.
I don't like the way their house was. And I have reason for that.
Really, I found it quite lovely. I mean, they had the rugs and those dreamcatcher things are really neat.
They also smelled slightly evil to my divine sense.
Pleasant
Oh,
is dangerous.
nonsense.
No, not nonsense. Divine sense.
Well, they seemed friendly to me. They seemed like fine folk. In any case, we should get going. I don't think we want to be waiting here through the winter.
Agatha,
Yes?
did you trade the rings or not?
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, here. Have them back.
Okay, cool.
I do have a delivery to do for the Duke's daughter, this necklace.
Give me that real quick. I'm going to detect magic on it.
Huh?
Yes.
Ajar?
Yeah.
Detect magic on the rings?
Mhm.
Being anything?
It was a necklace, right? The thing. Yeah.
It's a necklace.
Yeah. Witch jewelry, same difference.
The necklace does not appear to be magical.
Would Nistel's magic aura ping as being magic?
It would ping as being whatever they said,
But not magic.
including not magic.
Okay.
I will try casting Dispel Magic on the necklace, targeting Nistel's magic aura,
Okay.
and my Detect Magic should still be up.
Yeah. The necklace is not magic.
All right.
Is everything all right?
Maybe.
I think it's fine.
I don't. Um, with proficiency with would proficiency with smith tools let me look for any like poisons added to it, like trap compartment things?
Sure, make an investigation check.
Idle, what are you doing? I think you're honestly overthinking.
I'd rather overthink it than accidentally be an assassin.
Oh. Those fellas?
It's possible. So that's bad.
There's a little seam on the back. You think maybe the necklace open?
I'll try and just open it by hand.
Make a strength check.
Just double check. Yep, that's a bad.
Yeah, you can't get it open.
Mm.
And what were these ladies called? Agnes, Agatha, and
The last Agnes I
oh,
met was a witch.
but one of them's named Agatha. Should be fine. I should probably ask them what to tell the Duke's daughter and the Duke and such. Cause me saying that I have a delivery to make from the middle of nowhere would probably sound suspicious, wouldn't it? I attempt to ask the lady, what should I tell the Duke's daughter with the delivery? They're expecting this, right?
They'll say, "Well, it's hers. It's hers. She lost it. She won't be surprised to have it returned. Tell her whatever you like. Don't tell her anything. Just make sure that she gets it back."
Okay.
Hmm.
Are we happy? I don't.
Sir Jacob,
Yes.
would it be okay if I tried this on to make sure it's not trapped or poisoned or something?
Sir Jacob will take several steps back and say, "Yes."
Brilliant. You're a paladin, right?
No, I'm a priest. Yes, I'm a
He's a
paladin.
paladin. Whatever, it's all the same. You're one of those church people. If something horrible happens, please try not to let me die.
I'll try.
You won't die much.
I will put the necklace on.
Okay.
Does she look pretty? More pretty, excuse me.
Yeah, it's a nice necklace. It looks good on you.
God damn it, my Firefox will not die. I hate it when this happens.
I mean, if we're super spooked about it, I'm not sure if like you wizard folk can like do the magic to make it different and then turn it back into a necklace that looks like that.
That would be Revert's area of expertise. I don't know that yet. That would have to be something he teaches me when we get back to town.
Oh. Well, assuming we start traveling, do we start traveling? So I'm pretty content with everything now.
Do you start traveling?
Okay, I announced to Revered the stuff that's going on and Idol's concerns, and maybe it's not entirely crazy that
Let me see the necklace.
some fellows in the middle of nowhere did something. Yeah, here.
Before I give it back, I will just cast Remove Curse on it to see if
Okay.
that has any effect, which I probably won't be able to tell.
Yeah, it does not have any apparent effect.
I cast Identify on it.
It's Wilfred.
Okay.
So
What does Identify tell you about mundane objects?
if it was created by a spell, it tells me what spell created it.
It was not
Oh.
created by a spell.
Okay, and if it's otherwise a mundane object, it basically tells me this is a mundane object.
This is a mundane object.
Great. I examined it. What's the necklace made out of? Pearls?
No, it's got little beads. I don't know. They might be I don't know. They might be bone or something. I don't know. And they're colored, and it has a little silver figure of a girl in a dress as like the centerpiece.
Okay. Is there any cultural significance to this figure, or is it just like, a piece of art?
Yeah, just I mean, none that you're aware of. It just
Okay.
looks like a necklace.
And it's silver.
It does have silver. Yes, the center piece is silver.
Right. That's what I meant. So, um, yeah. I mean, it looks like a normal mundane necklace. I hand it back. There's nothing magical going on with it.
Alrighty. Oh, it's good to make sure. Yeah, as I'm the one that agreed to it, I should probably be the one delivering it. I'll do that. Thank you, Revered.
Actually, I just had a thought. Can I see that necklace again?
Uh-oh.
Can I examine that central figure for any secret compartments?
Absolutely. Go ahead. Investigation check. So it has a little seam in the back, and for like half a second you think it might be a secret compartment, but then you realize that's stupid. That's just
Flashing.
like a mark.
Okay. Other than that, I'm just going to run prestidigitation over it to clean everything off of it that isn't silver or whatever makes up the necklace. So, if there's any like foreign material on the surface, oils, things like that, just keep it clean so it doesn't tarnish.
Yeah. It looks nice. I mean, it was already pretty clean. But yeah, it looks great.
Yep. All right. I hand the scrying beacon back to Agatha.
Alrighty, thank you.
It's just a mundane necklace.
Yep, should be fine.
If with expertise in Arcana, would I know if fabricating an item into something else and then refabricating it back would affect the ability to scry on it?
You have no idea.
Science for later. Got it.
No, you misunderstand me, Idol. you use the necklace as a focus to scry on the person who owns it.
Why not just scry on the necklace?
I mean, I suppose they could try to scry on the necklace, but it'll be harder without having the necklace in their possession. By having the necklace in their possession, though, they could scry on the Duke's daughter. So they're giving it back to us for us to return, which means they're done with whatever surveillance they were doing.
Wait. The Duke's daughter, the one we've met already?
Teresa.
The one who's now been involved in 2 suspect incidents involving strange woodland beings?
Huh? What was the first?
Elves.
What was the second?
Apparently
Also
some
elves.
real old women in the
How
woods.
is she involved with
Oh.
elves?
If
Is
I
it
recall,
possible?
the Duke's daughter was one of the people who the elves were attempting to kidnap.
Yeah, she
One
was.
of.
Yeah, that is true, actually.
I am noticing a pattern here.
That's really weird now I'm thinking about it.
Do you want to turn around and go interrogate the hags?
Is it really necessary?
To what?
We might not have another
to-
chance to do it if it becomes necessary.
I know, but they're so nice. I don't think they would do such a thing.
Pleasant people
I
are
mean-
dangerous.
What were the hags described as being like?
Reverend is just
Okay,
looking
so-
at Agatha like, you were a fucking guard in a city. How the fuck are you this naive?
Most people were assholes, honestly, that I had to take care of. I never had to take care of the nice people.
That's why
it's
pleasant
the
people
rowdy
are
people at the bar that I had to take care of. I never had to take care of like a very nice, quiet person.
Agatha,
These
that's why
ladies seem to be
people
that
are
temperament.
dangerous when they're pleasant.
Oh, okay. So what exactly were our interactions with the old?
What does Sir Jacob think of all of this? Does he talking about and what we're insinuating?
So Jacob is of the opinion you should probably just take the thing and bury it in the snow.
No. Snow will melt.
I can do you one better.
Oh, is it draw a circle with that ring, toss it in, and because there's no occupants, it'll close after a certain period of time, banishing into another plane of existence?
Yes.
Sir Jacob
Yes.
says yes, do that.
All right, Agatha, hand it over.
Huh?
Wait,
I
hold
gotta
on.
deliver this.
Oh.
We agreed to the winter cloaks.
Wait. Before we do this, I do like the idea of banishing this for now. What exactly is the context in which we met these women, and how do they know the Duke's daughter?
There were some very nice old ladies that gave them food, shelter, and even the clothes off their backs. Oh, and
It
there's
wasn't off their backs, it was spare clothes.
Yeah, the place was
Wait.
really nice inside too. There were rugs, there was bats, and there was a bunch of dream catchers in there. It was very warm and cozy.
We should kill them all.
If I may, this sounds like some really spooky wood shit.
See, here's the thing. One of them is named Agnes. We already know which named Agnes. The other was named Agatha, and the third was unnamed. Or at least no name was given.
Oh, I know the third one. It was Argle Bargle, the Destroyer of Worlds.
Well, that's presumably why no name was given.
Right.
I think we should return, interrogate, politely if we can.
How far away are we?
The time it would have taken walking while you're having this conversation, you're like 15, 20 minutes off.
Because we might not get a second chance.
Yeah, you're right. I want it to be known that I really disagree with this, but because of what's at stake, it's better to be safe than sorry. I'd really rather do this politely if we can help it, though. and
Wait,
I'm not really sure how to put that into words.
AGR, these woods, aren't they in the same direction the elves were fleeing when they were kidnapping people?
Some of the elves. They're very far away from there.
Oh, okay. How far
Yeah,
away?
he said a week's travel by the roads.
Yeah, more than a week's
Oh, a
travel
week's
by the
travel.
roads. To get
mean-
just to get to Glint from the road, if it were the same distance, like it's just
Yeah, but what about as the bird flies?
I mean, that wasn't from Glint, that was from Sarkney. So you're talking about several weeks away from Sarkney.
Oh, right. I am sorry. I got the locations mixed up. My apologies.
I have to go AFK for a minute. I'll be back soon.
And the Duke lodges where?
In Glint.
We're going to Glint to inform the Duke that the army has been annihilated by a dragon
Ah, okay.
that only you guys saw. And
Sir
that you have no
Sir
evidence
Jacob
of.
saw that too, some credence behind that.
Uh-huh.
He's gonna raise his hand and say, "I did see that."
Now,
I'm sure you did. I'm not saying you didn't see it. I'm saying we have no evidence to show it.
We have a destroyed army.
Yeah, we have a missing army.
And we're also missing Emmy. Oh, Elf.
Reverend's going to turn to the Lord and say, "Look, if the Duke is an asshole, and he decides to say that there was no dragon and that you lost the army, he tries to scapegoat this for you, and you end up having to fight your way out of the keep, I got your back."
We crushed them all.
So Jacob is going to say, "I appreciate that. The Duke is a massive cunt, if you don't mind me saying so. I don't expect him to do that, but you never suspect these things, do you?"
We could tear
That's
his
what you pay
arms
me
off
for.
and beat him with the bloody ends.
God.
And these three very nice old women who provided us with winter clothing wanted us to merely deliver a single necklace.
A mundane.
Yeah, it was lost. Yeah, they looked through it 5 different ways to detect if there was some magic, poison, traps, and we're not able to find anything.
I mean, I have no problem delivering the necklace. Because if they were using it as a means of scrying on somebody to surveil them, the fact that they're giving it up means it's done.
I mean, wouldn't they, because they know the necklace, be able to plant that on a person and then scry on them that way? I mean, that's a thing you can do, right?
That is the thing you could do.
Hey guys, I gotta go.
Yep.
I'm sorry I have to cut out early.
No problem. I mean, as far as Revert knows, you can only scry on people and locations, not things. But hey, who knows? They're hags. They got access to weird-ass shit magic.
And you say the pendant was made of silver.
Yes.
As far as I can tell.
What are the beads made? Bone or
Bone.
something painted?
A bone thing?
Did we identify the
standard bead material that they would have in medieval times, which would be bone, shell, things like that.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Inside,
what kind of bone? These could be made of human bones. That sounds like a thing crazy animal hags in the wood would
It's
do.
hard to identify what the bone is from because the bone has been smoothed down to make beads.
God.
Oh, I
Okay,
Yeah,
at this
there's-
point I think Agatha's getting a
There's
Agatha's getting a
just-
bit irritated.
There's
Like,
no
okay,
evidence.
there's
that
no
it's been
evidence of
manipulated
foul
or
play with the
anything.
necklace. but it's really fucking weird.
It is really fucking weird. Why don't we go back to address the fears and concerns of the party with these nice,
Why?
gentle folk?
What? Look, best case scenario. What exactly is a victory for you there? Why would we want to go back?
There's,
To have the
there's no
fears
victory condition.
addressed? I mean, like, I don't
Okay,
know.
so let's say you're right, Agatha. We go back there. Our fears are addressed. We leave again. Basically leaves us in the same position we are now. So going there for that reason is a moot point.
And if we go there and our suspicions are confirmed, we are potentially murdering 3 like witches in the woods, and they very well might kill us.
It's less. Wilfred, if they gave us the necklace under these conditions, they aren't going to come out and say, yes, we intend to kidnap and or murder and or assassinate the Duke's family. They're not going to tell us that. So, again, we're just going to be left with their words saying it's just her necklace and they're trying to be nice in returning it. Again, leaves us in the same position we are now. I see nothing to gain by going back there unless all you want to do is set up a base of fire and take them out. But I don't really see any reason to do that.
Same. I'll just return this to the Duke's daughter with the context that, got it from 3 spooky people.
I
So,
mean,
if you don't want it, that's fine. In that case, that's
at
her
least-
call.
At least from a spooky fable kind of perspective, this very well could be something where, I don't know, she could be like cursed, and us giving her this necklace meets some kind of requirement for a curse, and she turns into like a, I don't know, werewolf.
I mean,
fucking knows?
the absolute
I think
worst
we're
case
overthinking
scenario.
it.
The absolute worst case scenario. They were disguised devils, and you accepting the clothes on your back has entered you into an infernal contract bound to your souls to deliver this necklace to its recipient, come hell or high water. And if we get rid of it, destroy it, or in any way stop it, your souls are forever damned. Notice I'm saying yours, because I didn't go in there and fucking agree to anything.
Boothos would forbid such a go. This is nonsense.
If they were
Well
fiends, I would
possible, I was
know.
not present to accept clothes.
Would you, barely? And I thought you said you caught a whiff of something.
They smelled evil, but they didn't. I didn't detect any celestial fiends or just slight evil.
Like they may have been influenced by infernal means?
No, like they smelled evil, but they were not fiends.
Right.
What do you mean
I'm
by
saying
they
they're human.
smelled evil?
Just saying, like they aren't devils because devils are fiends, and they aren't fiends.
Are they undead?
They are now.
No.
I mean,
Okay, so
really,
they could be
there's
spooky
only,
woodies.
the way I see it, we have 2 options. Well, 3, really. First option, we deliver the necklace. Second option, we don't deliver the necklace, we dispose of it.
Yes.
Third option, we return to the hag's hut and level it with them inside.
That does feel
Out
very...
of character,
Inquisition.
Agatha would do 1. If you guys yoink the necklace while she's asleep, she's going to be pissed about it. But, what is she going to do? Try to find the damn thing with all the snow around?
I mean, I don't
you guys
care.
been walking for about 20 minutes. Off in
Yeah.
the distance, you other than like you still hear the wind, but you do start to hear that same violin playing.
Right, see?
Is it
There-
back there where it came
I
from?
mean, you guys wouldn't know this, but there's some, like, gnome stories about creepy music in the woods. Now they used a different instrument for that. But, yeah, they're not usually the sound of good things.
This
okay.
time the music's not coming from the same direction.
It's not.
Where's it coming from?
Um,
Up ahead?
No, this time it's coming from southeast of you. You guys have been traveling back towards where your camp was for 20 minutes, and to get to them, it was, like, what was it, northwest? So I guess it is kind of ahead of you, but you're already where your camp was prior to the sojourn over
We
to.
should investigate the music.
Wilfred
Yeah, sure.
disappears into the snow. I'm being sneaky.
So
You walk for about 20 minutes, and you come upon the same scene from before. There is a ridge with a little hut on top.
Oh,
All right, who is fucking
oh my
navigating?
fucking god.
Okay.
This happened to me once while I was in Elfheim. Oh god.
So, should I
Okay.
break out the artillery or not?
yes,
There is a
Welcome.
loud howling wind, and the snow starts to really just come down. The air, like you can all see your breath hardcore, but like the fog starts to thicken up as well.
AJR, you say this is a strong cold wind. Do I smell burning cabbage on the wind?
What's your passive perception?
9.
No.
Okay.
This
So-
is really fucking weird.
So
I could have sworn this makes no sense.
we get hit by snow. We hear creepy violin music. We find a house filled with 3 nice old women who are willing to give us clothes for a small errand. We leave. We hear more creepy violin music. Now we're back at the house.
Yeah. I'm convinced this is some really weird bullshit. We were following the road,
Violins
right?
the
AGR,
first
like,
time
just-
should have convinced you.
No, you're not following the road. There's no road. Not only is there no road, if there was a road, it would be under 1.5 feet of snow. And you were, however, your survival skills are good enough to know that you left tracks the whole way, and you see your tracks from leaving going off in a different direction from here. Like you can see
What do we do?
where you went off into the woods. Over to your right, you can see where you went off into the woods, and it goes off in a straight line in a completely different direction.
AGR, Wilfred spends all of his time in the woods and is fairly skilled at survival.
I'm sorry, my
Am
connection
I
is
able-
dropping. Hold on.
and being
Try again.
ominous.
Try again.
Wilfred has spent almost his entire life in creepy woods and is fairly skilled at survival. Am I able to make a kind of check to see if this makes like rational sense that we could have actually just walked in a
Sure.
circle?
Make a survival check with advantage. Yeah. Your sense of direction is good enough to tell you that you walked in a straight line to get here. You walked in a straight line from this place to this place and arrived where you began without walking in a circle.
Yeah, guys, these woods are haunted.
Oh, not again. No, no.
Revert, your expertise is going to be greatly appreciated here.
Well, Agatha's the one that
just
seems to
give the
understand
necklace
what's
to-
going on here. Agatha, do you have something you need to tell us?
No, no.
Agatha,
Huh?
there's something you want to tell us.
No.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Agatha, what the fuck is going on?
I have no fucking clue. Only that this happened to me once in Elfheim.
And you got out of it how?
I don't know. Most of it was a blur. I mean, I talked to a tree, and then things looped, and I couldn't leave the loop until the tree let me out.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a talking tree.
I suspect we have two options. We go to
We
the
can't even
house.
deliver the damn thing. Like, what the
That's
fuck?
just it. I have a suspicion here. These are haunted woods, probably controlled by three creepy hags. We could either put an axe in their craniums if we felt like being really, really fucking stupid. Or we could probably just agree to deliver the necklace.
Aren't we gonna do that anyway?
I mean, we didn't end up here until after we discussed a lot that this was shady and we should get rid of the necklace. This feels really spooky and we might just have to acquiesce.
I'm looking at the sir. What does the sir think?
He just kind of has his face buried in his hands. He doesn't want to be here.
What if the trap is keyed to the necklace and we just get rid of it in a demi-plane and maybe we can escape the trap?
That might completely screw us if our ability to leave is tied to agreeing to deliver the necklace. AGR, before we actually got to this area, how spooky were these woods?
I mean, there were monsters in the woods before you got, like, in the marsh on the edge of the woods. There were monsters, like scary things you've seen in art, at the chapel and stuff. People fighting,
We're
like
talking
that
the
frog
froghemoth and the
and
flail snail?
that flail snail. Yeah, for sure. They got art of those things being fought by knights and stuff in the churches, man.
That finally explains all those manuscripts with the snail.
Yeah.
Have we fought anything else on our way here?
Not really. You guys heard some wolves. That's about it.
We answered an elk. There's nothing really weird.
We heard
Yeah.
spooky wolves
Yeah.
in the spooky woods.
Yeah.
I mean, that's typical.
They sounded like
wolves.
regular wolves, not really like spooky wolves, but I guess regular wolves are spooky.
I mean, Wilford's pretty superstitious. All wolves are
You
spooky.
can't hear fuck all now. You guys all have to kind of like lean in close to each other and shout to hear each other.
Why don't we have a Lehman's tiny hut and we think this through?
I mean, right outside their hut?
Are we
Well, you
that
guys
close?
are at the edge. You guys are at the edge of the there's a clearing where this ridge is, where their hut is, and the clearing is like marked by that circle of large stones. So you guys are right outside that circle of stones at the edge of the wood.
Are these stones natural?
They look like real stones, but they certainly wouldn't have gotten here naturally.
Has there been any, like, is there any writing on them, marks of any kind?
Not that you can see from here in the blizzard.
Yeah. I'm going to walk up to one of these stones.
Okay. Do you walk inside the circle?
No.
Okay, so you walk up to the back of one of the stones.
Yes.
Okay.
Is there any markings on this side?
No. Not as far as you can see.
I touch the stone. Does anything happen?
You touch the stone. The stone is very cold.
I cast Identify on the stone.
Okay. Yeah. It's a stone. The stone in and of itself is not magical. It does feel like there is there's some like residual magic on it.
Could I make like an Arcana check to try to determine what that magic is doing?
Yeah. You may. Okay. So yeah. So this area is not currently under any kind of magical protection, but it does. It looks like there is the circle here is like a marker for a large protective space inside of that that is just currently inactive. It might be. I'm not sure. It's a little similar to Hallow or Tiny Hut or something. It protects everything inside the space, but it is not currently cast on it. It has been cast on it enough times, however, that the magic is still detectable.
All right. So we got magic stones in a circle around hags in a hut. We've got some weird like Stephen King bullshit going on with getting out of here.
You see a lantern light at the point of the front door to the hut.
Uh-huh. Anything else, or is that it?
No, you just see the lantern light up.
All right. I turn to look at it and I'm like, fine, let's deliver your necklace. Let's go.
So you guys start to walk away from the hut.
Reverend does.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. Let's get
Okay.
out of here.
Okay.
Yeah, Agatha's gonna stare at the hut, but she's gonna follow, like, but still
Okay.
be looking at the hut.
You see the light just sits there. And as you kind of get distant from it, it's hard to tell if the light goes out or if you just can't see it through the fog and the wind whipping snow around. But yeah, you walk away from the hut.
Okay, I guess we're continuing on to Glint then.
Okay. Sure. You walk for a while, an hour or two in the heavy snowfall. It's getting really dark, and visibility was already low. So Sir Jacob suggests at this point you guys make camp.
Sure, tiny hut.
Okay. So same watch order. Can somebody post that again for me?
Sure, I can post it again. This time I'm also going to put an alarm spell around the perimeter of the hut.
Okay.
I give 35 more lay on hands to Sir Jacob if he can use it.
Okay. Yeah, he I mean, you use it. He looks very slightly better, but not much. The cold is taking its toll on him, but not actually doing damage to him really.
AGR,
Mhm.
I'd like to take a watch on third watch with the clown.
Okay, that's fair. All right.
No way I'm gonna be able to sleep with that guy on watch.
Okay, Revert, you take first watch. Halfway into your watch. How far out is your alarm spell?
It's a 20-foot cubed area. The hut is a 10-foot radius, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, your alarm goes off.
There's a human-sized creature out there.
Yeah.
Okay. I cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay.
30. I can detect the presence of even invisible creatures within 30 feet of me, and I know what
How
their
many
surface
creatures?
thoughts. All of them.
Oh. Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah. Uh, I'm not sure how best to describe this. But there's more than a dozen creatures.
Okay.
And they appear to be. Do you get like locations for them, or just the thoughts?
All right. Here's the verbiage. All right. Here's the verbiage. You can also use a spell to detect the presence of thinking creatures you can't see when you cast the spell, or as your action during the duration. You can search for thoughts within 30 feet of you. The spell can penetrate barriers. Yada yada yada. You can't detect a creature into lower than 3. Basically, it has to be like a humanoid capable of speech or language. And then it cuts off. Let me open up the book.
Okay.
This is spoopy. This is real spoopy.
It's not spooky yet because you're still asleep.
Mhm.
I'm gonna put my money on these wolves, probably covered in blood already.
No, they have to be intelligent for detect thoughts.
Yeah, they have to be intelligent and capable of like language. They might not have like a lot of communication ability,
It
but they have
says
to.
I know the presence of them. I detect
Okay.
them. So I would guess it's
Well,
up to
there's
you.
more than a dozen. They are moving kind of in and out of the space. So
Okay.
I don't know. More than a dozen. You don't know exactly where. You get the vague sense on all sides of you, and you hear the thoughts are almost all the same, but it's some variation of food, meat, food, eat, hungry.
Oh
Werewolf.
shit.
They're wolves. They're spooky
Werewolf.
witches.
Werewolf.
And that's
Okay.
it.
That's all I'm hearing from them.
Yeah.
For E.T. Tasty. Some Resident Evil bullshit. And then a zombie pops out of the closet.
Okay. Well, I guess my watch is going to be rather noisy. And I just continue to observe for the minute detect thoughts lasts, and as it fails, I just let alarm keep pinging me mentally as they move in and out of the space, I guess. But
Okay.
yeah, I'm
It
not going to
pings
wake
you a
anybody up.
lot.
Yeah, it just keeps ping, 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 ping. I'm like, I'm about to get no sleep tonight, am I?
Oof. Discord notifications.
Pretty much.
Huh.
Yeah.
There's sometimes it's a couple of seconds, and sometimes it's several in the span of 2 or 3 seconds.
Yeah. Like, just enough that you know you're not going to get any sleep with that going off.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. So yeah, your watch ends. So you wake up. Is it Agatha next?
Well, before I do that, it's the alarm is still going off, right?
Mhm.
I'm going to pull out my scroll of Dispel Magic, and I'm going to use it to dispel alarm.
Okay. You dispel alarm. Everything gets nice and quiet and peaceful inside the hut.
Great. I wake up Agatha, and I go to sleep. I report none of what happened.
Okay. All right, Agatha. Well, you can't see anything. The snow is crazy. The fog and the wind is crazy. So, I mean,
Do
you're
I
just.
hear anything unusual?
I'm not sure that you can hear anything through there, but even if you could, over the sound of the wind, no.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but your watch goes smoothly.
Such as it is, wake up the class.
Yep.
Wilfred also wanted to be woken up.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll wake up with you up and go to bed.
Alrighty.
Just gonna roll something really quick. AGR.
Mm-hmm.
Everything quiet for that first half of the break?
Yeah.
Well, Wilfred's got to take a leak. He's gonna go. He's gonna step outside really quick and go number one, right outside the
Oh
hut.
my god! Oh no!
Alright.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go in the hut. That's just nasty.
Chamber
Full of
pot.
people.
Okay.
What the hell?
Make a Constitution saving throw.
All right.
Roll for bladder
As the
control.
snow pelts you, or something. Are you bleeding? Oh god, you're bleeding.
It's dark. You're in the woods and your phone is dead.
Shia LaBeouf.
He's following
Shia has
you
a prize.
30 feet back.
Okay. Yeah. So you whip out your junk and you regret it immediately. The stream freezes before it's like clear, and you're in a lot of pain. You take 8. You've frozen your dick damage, and yeah.
Do I now gain the eunuch feat?
No, but you also need to make another con save.
Oh boy.
Okay. Um, you know, on the wind there's a smell, and it's really off-putting. It smells like something died. By the way, I don't think an 11 hits you. So you see a little bit of movement uh, in the snow, very briefly, and it's
Just
right
because
in front of your face. It's like I don't know. You almost think you see a face in the snow for just a moment, and
Just-
then you hear the crunching of
What
snow for half a second, and then it's gone. Just wind.
what kind of fate?
Like a
hungry one.
human face.
Was it enough
Uh,
for him to?
uh-huh. Huh. Um,
Not
Out of
while he's
curiosity.
grabbing his dick in pain. No, he can't do
Fair
it.
Out of
enough.
curiosity,
Hmm.
would this, mechanically speaking, have ended its turn within 5 feet of me?
You don't know. You can't see the creature.
I ask because of the skirmisher class feature.
Oh, you want to proceed to fuck off after the end of its
Yeah,
turn.
I can use my reaction when a
Yes,
hostile
you may
enters within
use
5
your
feet of me
reaction to fuck off if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm gonna just dive back in.
Okay, you dive back into the tiny hut with your junk still hanging out and an icicle hanging off. There you go.
With the clown up.
So
I
just-
imagine this is
see
what
him
the
come
clown's
back
looking like.
with the fucking yellow icicle hanging.
Hey, the clown just got
Yeah.
more content for his next performance.
I don't know what you think I do, but it's not bad.
This ain't it, Chief.
There, I would look at him like, there's human faces out there, man. There's human faces out in the woods.
Yeah. Okay. You want to explain why your pants are?
I went to take a leak. Froze to my willy.
You're saying you're
I'm
saying
using like
there's
the
faces
heat
out
of my
there?
hands to try to melt it. Just like
Mhm.
melt it, at least off the, where it's
Yeah.
attached to my
Yeah.
willy.
Oh, I did probably sleep with a hand warmer in my hands.
Yeah. So Pete,
Well,
you
I'm
can definitely
not
smell
putting
the
your
piss
hand
at
on
this
my
point.
dick.
Because as it warms up, you can definitely smell the piss.
It's gonna like recoil a little bit while my mouth is still open and.
I'm gonna turn away
You
so the
don't do
party
it at the end
can't
of the day, do
actually
you?
see this. I'm just like trying to let it melt.
Yeah,
And
it
then once
takes
it's melted,
a
I'm gonna bury it.
You've managed to gross out the creepy clown who lives in the woods.
Excellent! I am the spookiest wood-dwelling party member.
Okay.
Good job.
It's a good
So,
thing you're 16
do you do
year-old
anything
medic.
else stupid before your watch is over?
Yes, he's going to be Wilfred, and that's stupid enough to qualify.
Oh man.
It's a good thing the
You ask a good question there. I'm gonna make a quick roll here. That seems pretty stupid.
What was that?
that's his role for stupid.
Wisdom check.
That's a wisdom save against being an idiot.
Okay.
I'm gonna like stick my face out to get a look and then pull it back in.
Okay, one moment.
Can't you see through the thing normally?
You can,
Yeah, it's
but
translucent.
visibility's trash. Yeah, it's translucent, which actually is not the same as transparent. And it does like inhibit your visibility a tiny bit. And then on top of that, there's a blizzard outside. And it's
Yeah.
pitch black.
So we're
Yeah.
living like inside a stained glass window or something.
Do any of those hit you?
Yeah, no.
Okay. You take 24 slashing damage, and you need to make a con save for me. Actually, you need to make 2 consecutive con saves for me.
Do I see
Oh
what he's
my
getting hit by?
God. Spooky
No.
Woodsman is gonna be more spooky. God damn it.
Like, even if I'm on watch, I don't see, like...
Actually, make a third
You
con
probably
save,
hear the screams.
but the first 2 are the most important ones.
Did Gilbert ever pull his pants back up?
Wilfred, and it depends on if I thawed my willy.
Yeah, it's thawed. Go ahead and make your con saves. 3 of
Yep,
them. The first
that's-
2 are the important ones.
All right. So I'm typing up right now. 10, 10, 17.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
So you failed. You've succeeded on the last
Yay!
one. You don't take any cold damage, but you are paralyzed.
Oh, okay. I know what this is.
Oh, fuck. With these fucking Wendigos.
Oh my god, they killed Wilfred.
Oh my god, they killed
So Pete, you see Wilfred stick his head out, and he's just standing there, stationary, looking out into the snow.
Oh, he's just
Do
continuing to
any of
stand there.
those hit you?
Oh my
You're paralyzed,
god.
so
Three.
you have
Oh.
If he's paralyzed, don't they
Yeah.
like auto hit him?
he's paralyzed, so that's bad.
Advantage.
Yeah.
Jeez. Jesus Christ, don't you die on us.
Well,
Not like this.
I'm gonna make the same roll again.
Do I even see him getting hit? Like, does he look like he's being shot by something?
Does he see blood fall?
His face is the only thing out there. He can't see shit. So
But do I see
I
his
think-
face moving at
I
all
don't
from getting
think
shot
anything
over?
changes, right? You get hit. Well, you get hit twice, right? One's a crit.
Yes.
If he's paralyzed, every hit would be a
It's a
crit.
crit. Yeah. Okay.
That's a
One moment.
But do I see his head like
Oh.
recoiling at all when he's getting shot?
Make a
with...
perception check.
All right.
he probably tries to scream, but let's fail him. Oh my
Okay,
dear God of
you
Bethlehem,
take
have mercy.
42 slashing damage, and I need 2 more con saves.
I require one moment.
Oh, excellent time to nat 20.
Uh,
I need to
yeah.
run the numbers really quick.
So the force of the strike moves his face slightly, just enough that you can see there's a little bit of blood on his face.
Oh wait, no, there's a little bit of face on the blood.
Hmm.
Let's see.
Let me ask a mechanics question. Hey, how would you rule this?
What?
If a person was in the hut and
Yeah.
they are valid for the hut, and then a piece of the person is removed from the person, and then it flies into the hut, would it do that or would it bounce off?
It's loaded in the hut.
All objects that are in the hut that are carried by people when they're inside there are allowed to traverse the hut. So if it was a piece of him,
you would see you'd see a big old blood bath and a large chunk of Wilfred's nose and cheek.
Oh no.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go like, oh my god, and then try
Oh
to pull
my
him back.
God.
Okay. Yeah, you pull him back in. Wilfred, how are
And-
you doing?
Dying. If not dead.
That's what I'll ask him, and I guess
Is
he
there
doesn't
a
respond.
face? Is there a face or a throat or even a head left?
Yeah, am I just looking at like a
I
peeled
don't
open
know.
I
skull?
am- I have surpassed negative max HP.
That
In
was
one
2
hit?
hits. That was 2 hits.
Well, I think
Two
he
hits?
died instantly.
That was 2 crits. So
So we can say the first hit did 6512
yeah.
plus 3.
what's your max HP?
38.
So there's no way either attack hit
Yeah.
max negative in one hit.
Yeah, I think you're
Okay.
fine.
I mean,
Yeah.
I already am suffering a lack of 8 HP from
Well,
Assuming
I'm
he's
a-
using
I am
the
at the
standard
very
rules, I
second
can't
one.
remember. The only thing is, if the hit takes you to negative max HP in one hit, it insta kills you. Otherwise, it's just a failed death save.
Yeah, the second one
okay,
was
so
25.
one hit. Right.
So,
In
yeah.
that case, I am just very, very unconscious, bleeding profusely out of my face.
Was that within 5 feet?
yeah, his face is torn to shreds. But he
That's 2
I'm
failed.
gonna wake
death
everybody
yeah,
saves.
he
Holy
you
shit.
you wake up. Everybody is awakened by the screaming clown.
Cure wounds.
Oh
You
my
just-
God!
You just
what
hear
the
an
fuck
incredibly
did you
loud
do?
honking.
What did you do? What the fuck?
He's just like trying to shake Gilbert awake, and you just hear like the loud honk.
Did he go outside the hut?
I don't know, man. He came in with his dick swinging around, and now he's dead. I don't.
I think I'm shaking Brilliant. Do something! Fuck!
You cast Cure Wounds. Go
Hey
ahead.
guys, I thought I didn't need to say this, but don't leave the hut.
Oh my god!
Okay.
What in God's name
Wilfred,
happened to
you
him?
are conscious, but you're in an incredible amount of pain right now.
Did Aren't I also still paralyzed?
Yes, you are.
In that case, I'm just going to just scream internally.
Okay. You can all hear this. You can like see his chest vibrating a little bit, and there's like bubbles of blood coming out of his mouth as he tries to scream.
I'm gonna move his mouth sideways if I can help it. Oh my god.
Idol's going
Okay.
to
When you turn
try-
his face over, a lot of it peels over and sloughs onto the floor.
Did I get a long rest?
What the
No.
fuck? What the fuck happened? What in God's name did this?
Idol's going to try to look for a face to wrap back together or sew back together. Probably.
Yeah, you can kind of scoop his face and kind of put it like like it's like taking a banana peel and then putting it back together. You know?
Can you fabric? Can you me magic that back?
Idol
Oh
is 16.
God.
That is disgusting. She's probably going to touch his face and then just, nope, not do it.
Make a Constitution save, please, Idol.
Is this against poison or disease by chance?
No.
It's against disgust.
Can I do like 5 more cure wounds?
In a moment.
Am I at least able to turn away before I vomit?
We'll see. Okay. Yeah, you begin to vomit, and you turn your head away so as not to vomit directly into the open wound. And you stop yourself at like the last possible moment.
Hey Joe, I'm going to stick like a single fingertip through the door of the hut so I can minor illusion a second Gilbert right outside the entrance and then pull it back in.
You lose a finger.
The illusion is like immediately. Does the illusion get it just turns like transparent, right?
To them, yes, it's
To them.
transparent to
Yeah,
him
to them.
immediately.
Yeah, I don't think anything happens that you notice.
All right.
Generally
Well, it
speaking,
turns-
the hut, you don't want to leave the hut during the night. Please keep your hands and other limbs inside the hut for the duration of the ride.
Okay, but I don't see anything pass through it.
Nope.
All right.
I assume that the clown did not have any weapons visibly
weapon.
branded.
I mean, I'm not holding it, but I have a weapon.
Yeah, that's okay. So I'm just fucking confused on how in the fuck that happened.
Oh yeah, there's like a whole fuckload of things outside the hut right now.
Like what?
Excuse me, sorry. Well, there's at least 18 of them. They're invisible, fast thinking, and hungry.
Why in God's name did you not tell me?
Why would you leave the hut?
I don't know. I don't even know why he left the hut.
While they're talking, can I try and like cure wounds his face back on?
Let me ask you this, Agatha. Let's like we're talking about this like as you're like bleeding out in front of us. If I had told you, what would you have done differently during your watch?
If I had to go outside for whatever reason, I wouldn't. I would rather die. Not die, but you know.
That is
like,
your option,
die.
yes.
Oh God. This is horrible. Is that his nose?
No, this is entirely predictable.
Yeah, this was pretty predictable.
Jeez.
You managed to reattach the bit of nose that was like nearly severed, but not the bit of nose that was entirely severed.
More cure woundsing his face off.
What
Okay.
about the part of the nose that was
I
partly
mean, look,
severed?
unless you're going to penetrate
part's
the
fine.
hut, I'm going back to bed.
Okay. So
Sweet dreams,
yeah,
guys.
his face is technically
I'm just
reattached.
looking at the dream catcher.
I'm performing magical space surgery.
His face is technically attached to the rest of him. Technically, for the most part.
I'm rolling so bad.
You're a godsend. Oh God.
God bless the paladin.
Wilfred, can you hear me? Blink if you can.
I'm pretty
Wilfred,
sure I'm still paralyzed and screaming internally.
you are still paralyzed. After a few more seconds pass, the internal screaming turns into actual screaming as the paralysis wears off, and you all just hear him start screaming.
Oh my God.
Wilfred, despite Borellian's best efforts, your face will never be the same. You get a +1 to your intimidation checks and a -1 to your persuasion checks forever.
I think Agatha's just gonna be holding one of Wilfred's hands and say, I know, fuck! As he screams in pain.
All right. Thank God for the modifier section.
Brilliant wipes his forehead of sweat, and it's like, that's all I can do.
Okay, add up your health.
All I rolled were 2s and 3s. That's it. No,
Yeah.
That's 5.
19, I think.
Plus
I got
Looks like
17.
17.
Yeah, but that's including the lay on hands, I think. That makes it 19.
Wait, is my horse dead?
Yeah,
Probably
your horse is
super
probably
dead.
gone. Yeah.
Would he have like just screamed with the telepathic thing and woken me up?
You would. I'm not sure you would have been able to hear it.
Magic does
He
not
would have
pass
been
through.
dead before he screamed.
You know, that exact thing happened to Gilbert's horse with the assassin base. This exact same thing.
It just hits me. I don't want Wilfred to bite his tongue off screaming. I'm gonna hand him a torch. See if he was willing to bite on that. But I'm holding his hand. It's like, God bless. Oh. Horrible.
I'm gonna stick my face in the snow to numb the pain.
There's no snow in here.
It's warm.
It's warm.
Wait.
A
Are
healing
we
drought.
just sleeping on soggy soil?
No, it's
Probably.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lehman's tiny hut has a floor.
I have prestidigitation. I'm sleeping on dry ground.
Nice.
You are
You're
one
fine.
of us.
I mean, if someone asked me to, I would have dried out the ground for them. I assume you guys would have.
That's lovely.
I also had prestidigitation.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, that's good. That's good.
but your face hurts a lot.
Do you
Not
take
as much, but it still hurts a lot. Not enough to be
Okay.
screaming anymore.
That's good. That's good.
Do you take the offered healing drought?
Yes. That's roll a d8 and get an exhaustion.
Wilfred leaves the dome. He immediately regrets this decision.
You either spend a hit die, or you get a D4 and a level of exhaustion. That's if you don't have hit dice remaining.
Oh, okay. But if I just spend a hit die, I don't get the exhaustion.
Yeah, you spend a hit die and roll the hit die, and that's it. You just use it as if you were using a hit die normally. So you do add the modifier to it.
Right. That's my modifier.
Ah,
Nice.
like me.
Okay. Yeah, Wilfred looks fucked up. He has a clear missing piece on the end of his nose, and there's like a scar across the front of his face. And it looks pretty gnarly.
At least he still has a face now.
Yeah.
Is the nose around here somewhere?
Yes, it's in there.
Look for the red part of the snow.
I'm not gonna tell Wilfred anything. I'm gonna see if I can just put it. You know what? No, I'm not. Dear God, no. Imagine rummaging through your pockets and finding your nose.
Oh, I thought you were gonna do something weird.
Got
Like
your nose.
eat it or stick it in your
No!
pocket.
Oh my
Got your
God!
nose.
Oh,
Oh.
Okay, so who's got next watch? What are you guys doing? The clown takes the rest of his watch with Gilbert, or do you guys switch something up, or what?
I'll do the rest of my watch. I don't know what he's doing.
Fuck the watch. I'm going back to sleep.
Okay.
Idle is going to probably have nightmares for the rest of her sleep. And she's going to have
Yeah,
nightmares on the other side of Tiny Hut from
I'm just gonna let you all know. You all have nightmares. Other than Agatha, all of you have nightmares of snow and blood.
Did this completely reset my like long restometer?
Well, you have completed a long rest. All of you. I guess you were casting a lot, but I don't think you did anything long enough to cancel your rest. You were only active for a minute, although you casting that many spells, I don't know. I'm gonna let it go.
So I complete my long rest after all the spells have been
Yeah,
casted?
you all have to sleep in a little bit late, but yes, you successfully complete your rest.
Could we recast Lehman's tiny hut before we leave? Can we see outside?
By morning, you can see outside a little. It's basically just a blanket of white, and your visibility is not more than like 50 feet, but it just looks like snowy white, like powder. Nothing.
Is it still blizzarding?
The snow has let up. It's still snowing, but it's not crazy.
Okay.
Does Wolf
Before the hut comes down, I'd like to cast Detect Thoughts again to see if there's anything outside the hut.
Okay. You do not get any sense of anything outside the hut.
Yep. All right. It's all clear, guys. We can go.
does Wilfred need more healing?
Yeah. 18.
Oof.
Here, take 18.
Well, shit. Thank you.
And I think we will call it there.
Okay.
Good job, everybody. That was fun.
Yeah.
It was.
I
Thanks for
had
running it,
expected to
Jeremy.
get nightmares from that